Welcome, everybody, to the Making Awesome podcast. We didn't think we'd be making this one. I legitimately...
Not again.
We didn't think we'd have to do it the first time. We definitely didn't think we'd be doing it a second time.
No.
Laws have passed. 3D printing and firearm laws have passed. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I think we're gonna have to have a talk. Mind you, some things to put up front. This is going to get political. There's no way that you can have a discussion about this and it not be political. So
I mean, it quite literally is politics.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to not play party sides here, but we're gonna use generalities for the individual parties, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. There's
I'm playing sides because I'm UK. I'm European.
Well,
you guys can suck it. I've got a completely different point of view, and that's what makes it good. Is I get to say a very different point of view based on Europe's mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But you actually live in the country that it's all going tits up for. So
well, I can promise you, Florida's not going to have anything like this anytime soon. And you know, we're going to read the current Colorado bill in its entirety so that you guys can hear it. But my entire take on the laws in Washington, Colorado, New York, and California that have either been proposed or written in at this point is that it is not, under any circumstances, to stop you from 3D printing guns. It is for surveillance. And I'm sorry. I've got enough evidence to back it up. So, we will state from the beginning, we have and will always welcome discussions from politicians that would like to have a discussion. I am a certified FloridaMan. I live on land. I have some firearms and things. I don't 3D print firearms because that is a federal crime for me to do because we are a business. But I'd like to assume that I'm reasonably well educated in the topic. If you are a politician that is finding this video, please reach out. YouTube at 3dmusketeers.com. You can call the company's public phone number online, and we will get you to me. We want to have a legitimate discussion about this. We have an open line of communication for you. If you choose not to do it, we reserve every single right to drag you through the mud for it. Anyways.
Yeah. Where do we even go from here? I think we should start with the bullet point list. What has happened?
Yeah.
Because I'm not entirely certain, because it's just it's a cluster of, we didn't expect it to come through, and it came through, and now I'm making a second podcast on the topic, and I'm not too happy about that.
Dude,
and I'm not even American.
We gave it a sub 5% of even making it out of voting, and here we are. Now, the bill in Colorado is going for a third reading. It is considered under construction, right? So they're under consideration, under consideration. But it has been voted on. And, yeah. Now, look, we have Rocky Mountain RepRap Fest. That's in Loveland, Colorado, right?
Oh, so, how is that going to work?
Let's
actually, no, don't answer that, because we haven't even covered why that might be a problem.
They're also in the chat, so, you know, we can just ask them.
Yeah, but, the viewers might not know. They might not be looking at chat. They don't know why it's a problem.
Yep. So...
Also, I'm still trying to rack my head around some of this language, because it is very broad.
Yes.
And kind of all-consuming in a not... I'm hearing the USSR anthem just appearing behind me when I start reading this,
Hmm.
because all I'm getting is this is just another way to separate the worker from the means of production.
So I should point out that Colorado is a reasonably gun-friendly state. It's not as gun-friendly as Florida. They do not have a stand-your-ground law. They have a duty-to-retreat law that in the event that you feel as though your life is threatened, you must look for other options than drawing a firearm and taking a shot, right? If you have the duty to retreat, you retreat, right? In Florida, we have what's called stand your ground laws, which means I don't have to do a damn thing. Okay. And well, yes, as Chagall says, Colorado has been a battleground state for firearms for a decade. I completely agree here. Colorado is statistically a Democrat state, which means that they are less likely to be pro-gun. So I'm not too surprised when we look at the states that have either introduced or passed laws that they are all Democrat controlled, and two of them are well known. New York with New York City and California, both of them with sweeping gun legislation. Now, again, that is statistics, okay? I am not making a position regarding politics. It is statistics. Love it or hate it, it's statistics. Okay? So Colorado was one I didn't expect. I legitimately didn't expect Colorado to come into this and say, hold my proverbial 22, right? Do you want to read do you want to read the law in its current form, or do you want me to do it?
Do you want the bullet points or the entire thing? Because I think the entire thing is good.
I think we should read the entire thing, but I want to make sure. So, if one of the mods wants to post a link in the chat, they're welcome to. But if you're listening to this or watching it later on, things could be moved, right? Things could have changed. So anything that's stricken, let's make sure that we leave it out. Because the law in its entirety is still there, but they've done a lot of strike through, which is stuff that has been deleted from the law, but they leave it up there for transparency, which I enjoy.
Okay.
Jacob?
Actually, when you say strike through, because on my side, when I've downloaded the PDF, the full PDF, is that just the bit that is grayed out slightly?
Oh, okay. So I've only looked at the bill's summary. I haven't looked at the entire. Okay.
It's only bill. A 3-page document. There is 1, 2, 3 bullet points and 2 sections, which is the.
Okay, that's really
I'll
long.
read it. Read it all out loud because it's actually not that long. It's just really big font.
Okay.
So let's start with the bill summary. This bill defines 3-dimensional printing to mean additive and subtractive manufacturing. Within the first sentence, additive and subtractive is categorized as 3D printing. This is important, and we'll get back to that later.
It says at the top, this summary applies to this bill as introduced and does not reflect any amendments that may be subsequently adopted. If this bill passes third reading in the House of introduction, a bill summary that applies to the re-engrossed version of this bill will be available. So this bill summary is not correct. So
why is this the link? That was the link.
I understand, but it's what it says right at the top. There's a big note there. So let's go ahead and start at the section 1 down at the bottom of the first page.
Yeah. Okay. Section 1. In Colorado, revised statuses. Skip a couple lines, and then the title is Unlawful 3D Printing of Firearm or Firearm Component. It includes the penalties and definitions. So, Category 1A, a person shall not knowingly manufacture or produce a firearm or firearm component by means of 3-dimensional printing using a 3-dimensional printer. Importantly, when they say 3-dimensional printer, they don't entirely mean additive. That also includes subtractive. And that was a key thing in the first one, is this bill. I'm not sure if it's a bill anymore because it's gone through one of your weird government things.
It's sitting on top of Capitol Hill or something. I don't know.
Is is a bit broad in scope.
Yes.
Part B, a person who violates this subsection commits unlawful three-dimensional printing of a firearm or firearm component. Unlawful three-dimensional printing of a firearm or firearm component is a Class 1 misdemeanor, except that a second or subsequent offense is immediately a Class 5 misdemeanor.
Class 5 felony.
Oh, felony.
A little bit worse.
What is the classification system?
I don't know.
I'm assuming big number bad, and
No,
the word felony
as
is
far
a
as
lot
I'm
worse than
aware,
misdemeanor.
It's lower number worse, right? So like murder 1 versus murder 3, right?
Oh, so they're doing like you're getting the most severe misdemeanor possible, and then you're just going straight to felony.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like this.
Well,
Do
okay.
not like this.
I'm actually, as far as gun laws go, I'm okay with this. So
Are you?
Here's a specific reason, right? First time, it's a Class 1 misdemeanor, right? That's basically a slap on the wrist, right? Don't do it again. Here's a fine, maybe a little bit of jail time, whatever. The second time, felony. Felony is a big deal because in the US, you cannot own firearms if you've been convicted of a felony. So there are states that want it to be a felony the first time, which remove your rights to own firearms forever, your rights to vote forever, right?
I don't like this because, as someone not in America, your right to vote should be one of the highest things. You shouldn't lose your right to vote just because you're a criminal. And this seems very broad in scope. And love it or hate it, a lot of people in the additive world are quite smart and quite influential, and they are generally leaning in one direction or another on the political spectrum. I don't know what your political spectrums are. I don't really care, but we tend to be quite liberal according to UK standards. And I don't like this could be weaponized.
Right. But here's a key thing we can see in gray on that on section 1A, a person shall not knowingly manufacture. So let's say you are a 3D printing business, you get a file, you don't know what it is, you make it. I didn't know, dude. Like, I did not knowingly manufacture it.
I do not buy that.
Well,
because knowingly is a very hard thing to prove in a court of law.
I don't disagree. But it is a better...
But think of it the other way. How could they defend against it? They can say, you knowingly made this, and you're like, I didn't know. And the judge is going to turn around and be like, of course you knew.
That I don't know. That I don't know. You know, so I that is, look, I will take it. If this is going into law. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to be clear with you. This is happening, right? I want to see as many possible outs as possible here, right? And as Luke's Lab says, firearm components can be quite innocuous. Legitimately, an auto sear for an AR, I mean, you could buy them online, but an auto sear for an AR, if you don't know what it is, you have no idea what you are making. You have no idea what you are making. Now, Mike,
see, that's
81...
not what gets me, like, riled up. The thing that gets me riled up is the language used is knowingly. And I've done enough, like, law in the UK, I should say, not a lawyer, because you guys actually care about that sort of stuff. The UK, we could say whatever we want. Knowingly is something that's almost impossible to prove positive or negative. So it's up to the judge to determine if you knowingly did something.
Yes.
And I don't like that.
Absolutely.
Because now, if you've got agendas or you've got pressure from one side, that can be a way to weaponize an innocuous bill into doing stuff that isn't innocuous anymore. You can now attribute you knowingly did this when they actually didn't. And it's just another thing that I'm seeing from across the pond, which is controlling overreach using legal terminology, meaning you can ignore your own laws because knowingly isn't a thing that they can prove. It's like the whole thing of I can forget my password to my phone, and apparently, from what I've known, you might have to correct me on this, if you forget your password, I'm right in thinking they can't do anything about that. Is that right in America?
What do you mean?
So if you like forget your PIN number for your phone, or forget your PIN number for your phone, they can't go past that because they can't prove you haven't or have forgotten it.
Well, so you cannot be compelled to give a PIN or a password in the States. You can be compelled to give biometric. So if you are concerned about traveling in or out of the United States and you are worried about being stopped for whatever reason, you can either turn your phone off, because most phones, when they turn back on, will
Require
not
a
allow
password.
or will not allow you to do biometric, or the iPhone face whatever thing. Or you can put your phone into lockdown mode. Same deal. Now,
Okay.
that is not advice. You can choose to do whatever you want, but currently in the United States, you cannot be compelled to give your password. However, they can make your day very difficult. They can lock you up for an undisclosed amount of time. They can refuse entry for whatever reason they want. So just because they can't doesn't mean they won't make it difficult for you because they can't.
Okay, so now my question is that a protection on passwords, or is that a protection on you not remembering it?
I believe that is a protection on passwords themselves.
Okay, so this has even less protections.
Yes.
So if you just say, I didn't know constantly, I'm seeing this as a way that they can go, I don't care if you knew or you didn't know. We're going to say you knew, and then it's now forced in.
I would like to believe in a court of law that we will remember the fact that an individual is innocent until proven guilty by a jury of their peers. Now, does that matter anymore? No. As it's been stated many times in the chat, laws only apply to those that are not rich enough to pay their way out of it. Right.
Yeah.
And yes,
unfortunately, from the UK, we see that a lot with your news. We're sat back going, what the hell is going on with most of America? It's kind of scary. Also, fuel prices, thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
My stocks and shares has dumped. I've lost $4,000 overnight, and I'm so glad I got my electric car back. Also, got the electric car back. It works now. Didn't catch fire. Fuel is £1.71 a litre.
Oh, it's still cheaper here in the States.
Yeah, because you're taking all the oil. And I can't afford to use my petrol anymore because it's now costing me £200 a month in petrol.
Dude, I'm driving to Orlando after the stream to see Nomad and a few others that are coming in for a convention, and that's going to cost me like $40 in fuel to do it. So
actually, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. $40 in fuel, that's like £32. That'll get me half a tank.
Yeah, it's about half tank.
That'll get me 20 litres.
Whatever. But
anyway,
the law goes on.
So, obviously, we've just spoken about what this is, knowingly manufacturing, and if you get it, you get a Class 1 misdemeanor or a Class 5 felony if you do it a second time. One of the things that I have been told about is accept that a second or subsequent offence is a Class 5 felony doesn't always mean it has to be the same offence. So if you already have a misdemeanor, you can just go straight to felony. I have been told that. I'm not going to give a source because it could be I've just made it up, but I have been told that is a possibility.
Luke's Lab is stating the second time is done per file. Also, I'm getting some feedback from your headphones, that's not too bad, by the way.
Oh, 1 minute. Let me do that, and let me make sure my noise cancelling is actually active at the moment.
I don't think it is. Just turn your noise cancelling on. It'll be fine. I'll continue to read. The subsection C, the subsection 1 does not apply to 1, federally licensed firearm manufacturers, so FFLs. 2, an instructor or student of an accredited gunsmithing program or an institution that operates an accredited gunsmithing program when the manufacturer is solely for the purposes of education, instruction within the accredited gunsmithing program. 2, the section only applies to potentially functional firearms and firearm components and does not apply to the three-dimensional printing of any other components or components that could be used to make a non-functioning or prop firearm.
Okay.
I'll
That doesn't
take it.
seem too bad.
Again,
I'll take that.
I'll take that. Now, we have to say, will cops and anyone else be able to accurately determine what is a, non-functioning or prop firearm, right? Oh, you're making AR lowers, but they're just props, Your Honor. They're just props. Like, come on,
Yeah, I wouldn't be caught doing anything along these lines anymore because this is a fast track to getting in trouble.
Yep.
Like, make it out of neon pink, blocked out so it physically can't be a lower.
Yep.
You could probably get away with it.
Probably.
But if they're like, it fits, then they're probably going to say it fits.
Now,
and they're going to get you on that.
I don't know if you've ever seen the meme of the director of the ATF holding and trying to take down a Glock.
I did. That was embarrassing.
It is offensive for firearm owners. It is offensive because this person is directly, responsible for the ATF. Like, how do they not know? Anyways.
Like, I can do that. I can do it in under 15 seconds. I've got one right there. I'm not going to do it because YouTube will kill us.
Yep.
But mine's over there, and mine has the little switch on the side. But
yours is fake.
Yes.
It is fake, Jacob.
Oh, no, it's a different one.
It's airsoft, right?
No, it's a different one.
Whatever.
The chemical guy we're doing with is XSAS, and I've now got access to a load of stuff.
Shut up. I am not your lawyer, but
stuff.
Shut up. Whatever you're doing, shut up.
For YouTube's sake, this is a bit.
Anyways, 3, as used in this section, unless the context otherwise requires a CNC milling machine means a computer numerical controlled milling machine. B, firearm component means an unfinished frame or receiver, large capacity magazine, or rapid fire device. To be clear, I'm almost positive Colorado has had large capacity magazine bans for a long time. Rapid fire device being like a FRT, Glock switch, that kind of stuff, auto sears. Gunsmithing program means a gunsmithing program operated by an institution. Institution means a state-authorized institution of higher education or institution regulated by the Colorado Division of Private Occupational Schools. Large capacity magazine has the same meaning set forth in section 18-12-301, so they already have a law for it. Three-dimensional printing or 3D printing means additive manufacturing that builds three-dimensional objects by use of a three-dimensional printer or similar device. And subtractive manufacturing that creates object by removing material from a workpiece by use of CNC milling machine or similar device. Section 2, severability. If any person of this act or the application of this act to any persons or circumstances held invalid, the invalidity does not affect the other provisions or applications of this act that could be given effect without the invalid provision or application, and to the end of the provision of this act are declared to be severable. This is just legalese BS.
Yeah, this is just legalese.
Yeah, it's legalese BS. Now, if we look at the actual bill summary, so CNC milling has been removed. I'm going to read the bill summary in its entirety.
Yeah, I think that does quite a nice job of
the bill summary I actually think is better than the
it.
actual bill so far.
Yeah, it removes a lot of the legalese and also a lot of
Yes.
the oversight, though I should say this isn't the legal terminology, so some of the nuance might be lost and some
Sure.
of the gotcha moments might also be lost because the summary is just a summary. So everyone who's listening, just keep in mind that what they write here can and has been known in the past to be worded slightly differently to get people out where they think it's not as bad, and then it turns out the actual wording of the bill is a lot worse.
Yeah. So the bill defines three-dimensional printing by means of additive extractive manufacturing. The bill prohibits each of the following: knowingly manufacturing or producing a firearm, unfinished frame or receiver, large capacity magazine, or rapid fire device, firearm or firearm component by three-dimensional printing. The prohibition does not apply to federally licensed firearm manufacturers, an instructor or student of an accredited gunsmithing program, or an institution that operates an accredited gunsmithing program. Unlawful three-dimensional printing of a firearm or firearm component is a Class 1 misdemeanor, except that a second subsequent offense is a Class 5 felony. Knowingly offering to sell or distributing digital instructions may be used for an activity that constitutes a violation of specified existing state law concerning unlawful conduct, including an unserialized firearm frame or receiver. The prohibition does not apply to the distribution of digital instructions to or between an instructor or student of an accredited gunsmithing program or an institution that operates an accredited gunsmithing program where the distribution is solely for educational instruction. Unlawful distribution of digital firearms production instructions is a civil infraction. The prohibitions in the bill only apply to potentially functioning firearms and firearm components, and that is the entire summary of the bill currently.
I don't like it. I hate this. I'm coming from a country where guns are incredibly legislated. They are incredibly locked down, more so than a lot of other European countries, and I do not like this. And I will say, I like the fact that we don't have lots of guns in the UK. It's not for everyone. And there's a lot of politics I could get involved with, why we don't need the guns versus why you guys might. But the long and short of it is gun crime is quite high in America, and I don't like this bill. Because it doesn't really fix the problem, but
Correct.
It villainizes people who generally are fine.
Yeah. And if you ask me, the Colorado one so far is the most clear. The laws that we're seeing in Washington, in New York, in California, those are much less about guns specifically and way more about civil obedience, right? It's more about we're just going to follow everything that you do. This doesn't currently lock 3D printers behind a 4473 or a federal background check to own a 3D printer. It does not force them to go through gun dealers. It does not force them to have telemetry or anything like that. So as far as I'm concerned, if we're going to have laws that do this, so far, this is as clean as it gets right now.
This one is
I'm saying
quite
Washington
nice.
State, CZ Oliver.
However, the one that I read before this, and it could be attached to this could just be a section of a larger bill going through, does make it very problematic. And that's when it comes to circumventing the protections that they want to put in place on the equipment.
So they have made no specific designations as to what levels of protection are required by this law.
I think if this went through as it is, with nothing else attached, I wouldn't be too annoyed about it. I'm still annoyed about the use of knowingly, but this doesn't affect the industry that much. Well, it does cause like a couple people to have probably compliance issues.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all.
It's okay.
So this is the really stupid thing. All this does is it limits your rights. So as a end user of a 3D printer in the United States, you have every legal right to manufacture your own firearms. That is part of the Second Amendment. Shall not be infringed is a very, very, very clear part of the Second Amendment. The U.S. citizens who are legally able to can manufacture firearms for themselves. If these people do not have federal firearms licenses and are selling, giving away, transferring, whatever, homemade firearms, whether it's a 3D printer, CNC mill, whatever, that is a felony. That has been a felony. That is a 10-year felony. Okay, you're going not just to, county, you're going to federal pound your ass prison, okay? And the thing with printed firearms, printed suppressors, printed anything, you cannot sell them. You cannot transfer them. You cannot will them. They must be destroyed upon your death.
Yeah.
It is very, very specific. Right? this starts to break that boundary. Now, to me, this is, you do a drug bust, okay? You have a no-knock search warrant for a drug house. You kick in the door. They've got coke all over the place, but they've also got a bank of 3D printers producing lowers and Glock switches and stuff like that. This serves to further go, but the regular law did too. The regular law before this, the law for manufacturing firearms, already protected you. This, to me...
This seems to, like, encroach that level of...
Correct.
Overreach.
Correct.
Because it was already a felony if you did that.
It's... You were going to federal to begin with.
Screw it, I'm changing my mind. I can't believe I'm doing this. Live on camera. I like the bill now.
The bill,
but
this
that's
is
a
the best
European
bill
view,
so
and that's
far.
only this bill. If there's anything else attached to this,
Yes.
I'm going to get so annoyed and I'll rant about it for hours. And the only reason I'm kind of okay, not okay, I've gone from not liking it to neutral with a bit of a positive, I'm okay with this, is it doesn't affect the regular person. But as Luke Slab has said, Washington's bill has made me so
Washington's bill is considerably
hot
worse.
under the... It's terrible because it will destroy manufacturing in Washington.
Yes.
Across the board.
Yes.
And at least from what I'm seeing here with Colorado, while it is infringing some of your rights, and even I can see that, and I'm not massively well versed with American rights, it doesn't seem that much out of the ordinary. It just... I don't like how it is overstepping like legal rights as it already is, but it's just stopping you from even making them for yourself.
The thing that worries me is the digital instructions. The digital instructions become a huge
That's
problem.
G-code.
No, it's
Somebody
STL files.
If somebody gives you a G-code file,
right,
you're screwed.
So, well, okay.
Also,
it's knowingly offering to sell or distributing digital instructions. Okay.
Could it be with how it's written? I need to reread it as I'm saying this, but does it also have ownership of those written instructions? Is that being legislated?
I did not read any of that in my reading of it, and I agree with Luke that the Colorado law is still BS, but it's not outside of what I expected out of Colorado. Let's just go with that. Bearded Printer with the $10. So, love the content. Real quick, since we got our first super, let's thank the sponsors for the stream. We have 3D Prima has come on as a filament sponsor. So if you are in the UK, the EU, and you want to get some awesome filament, check out 3dprima.com. And check that description for a 20% off coupon code. Big ups to 3D Prima for tossing a coupon code for you guys. It is in the description of this stream, of this video, of this podcast, whatever. Go check it out if you want to get some of their awesome filament, which we still think should be called Prima Donna. We're working on it. But they make great stuff. It's all the parts of it are in there too. Big thanks to Printed Solid. I will be meeting with some Printed Solid employees later this afternoon for some dinner, so that's going to be fun for sponsoring as well.
Nice.
Of course, Made in America Filament, owned by Prusa Research, based in Newark, Delaware. We've also got Construct 3D, makers of the first bamboo 3D printer, the world's fastest bamboo 3D printer as well, and of course now the All Clean. And I'm told if you guys hang out for a little bit, there might be a fun, fancy coupon code coming out toward the end of the stream for the Construct 3D bed cleaner known as All Clean. And of course, thanks to
I promised you guys last week there will be a discount code.
Yep.
There will be a thing.
Yep.
And it is semi-substantial.
You're going to have to watch the chat for it. And we'll say it out loud in case you're listening audio only or something like that. And it is vegan, as Omar says.
And halal.
And halal, that's right.
I know. You'll be surprised how hard it is to actually get those certifications for a chemical product. A lot of chemicals come from, like, meat processing.
Look, I'm not going to eat it either way, so it's not that big of a deal. But
we've got a new one that we're making.
Oh, Jesus.
Just to play around with it completely body safe for like 20 liters at a time. But that's for NHS and dental 3D printing companies where they need an nth degree of safety.
Yep, where you need that extra safety. And hey, if you're watching live, don't forget to leave a like, get subscribed. We have YouTube ads turned off while we are live for this, so if you don't mind kicking a couple of bucks our way, like the awesome bearded printer there with the $10 saying love the content, that would be awesome. So yeah, the Colorado bill. So Breaker 3D, Justin, he's one of the organizers for Rocky Mountain RepRap, right? Is wondering how this will affect Rocky Mountain RepRap, and the answer is it shouldn't. If it does, we have other things to be worried about, right? This should not affect Rocky Mountain RepRap at all. You guys never allowed 3D printing firearms to be on display. You never allowed people to be making 3D printed firearms. The people that come to Colorado will just have to be careful about, are they carrying USB drives with G-code on it for 3D printing? Now, I can see this.
I've been reading the document. I'm pretty sure, again, other people read it, make your own minds up. This is knowingly manufacture. So correct. It does look like holding the G-code and STL files is not part of this bill. Well, so having instruction...
knowingly offering to sell or distributing digital instructions.
That's offering and selling. If they actually just come with it, that's fine, but don't give it to someone. So that's one of the big ones. So if somebody brings their printer and it has those files on the printer, you're not screwed. It's only if you do something with those files that isn't for you.
And so it's something that's been brought up quite a bit here is this is almost certainly going to be challenged in the Supreme Court. And given the way the Supreme Court is currently stacked, it is, 5-3, I believe, for Republican versus Democrat justices. It will almost certainly be stricken down. Right? It will almost certainly be told, nope, you can't do that, and all that. My concern is what RepRap brings. So RepRap is literally a gathering of 3D printing people from across the world that get together. If you are the police and you are telling Roxanne that she doesn't have to put on the red light or something like that, but if you are looking to do a raid, thank you for at least giggling at that joke.
I quite liked it. I'm not gonna lie.
But if you are the police and you are looking...
complete side tangent. If you name your child Roxanne, I am only going to think of the song.
Roxanne! Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
My cousin has named their child Roxanne, and I love her to bits. And every time she walks through the door, I'm just there like, cannot sing the song. Can't do it.
Speaking of, hey, Jude, my cousin, who I recently found out is into 3D printing, fan of the channel now. We talked for like an hour and a half last night. They have an 85M, so hey, Jude, since I'm going to make that song reference as well, because I can, and I'm allowed to be funny because they're 10, and I'm allowed to make jokes like that. But my concern here is that as a policing body, getting a federal search warrant or getting a state level search warrant for the Rocky Mountain RepRap Fest should be really easy. You're telling me that I have a huge group of people coming in from all around the world into our state that are going to be celebrating 3D printing. I'm getting a search warrant, and they can effectively...
Do they even need a search warrant? Because they could just walk in. Isn't it a public event?
That's fine, but I can tell them to kick rocks. With a search warrant, we can't tell them to kick rocks.
I don't know. If I was trying to find people and catch people out, yes, I would be doing it. I would be getting a search warrant.
Sanity's flying in from Prague.
Ooh.
No, actually, who was it that said they would try the chocolate? If you have any more of that spicy chocolate, I think It was
We only had
Olaf.
one cube.
Olaf said he would try the spicy chocolate. So if you have any more of the spicy chocolate, Olaf said he was going to try the spicy chocolate. So
I actually want a couple more cubes.
No.
Just for like perfect time to like, hey, have a cube. Be careful, it's spicy, and then watch them die.
But yeah,
that was offensively spicy.
My concern with Rocky Mountain RepRap, and it's not going to be passed until July 1st of 26, right? So it doesn't go into effect until July 1st. Rocky Mountain is before that. Rocky Mountain's in less than a month. We will be there. We're going to be at Rapid as well, for reference. Rocky Mountain will have to come up with some level of something. They're going to have to do something.
Would just a simple waiver, like just if you're coming, just sign this like tick box,
it's
like
not
on
gonna
an
stop
email.
It's not going to stop a search warrant. It's not going to stop a search warrant, right? All that
But
does
what
is
would stop a search warrant?
No, nothing.
Yeah, so like you can maybe protect your back by saying, as event organizers, we got them to sign this saying they're not doing it.
Sure, that absolves the event organizers and the event of sin. It doesn't absolve the vendors, or more specifically, or the exhibitors or the participants. The issue to me is like, I'm a content creator from Florida. Like, I don't have firearm stuff on my laptop or on any of the drives we use to film. Homie, if they come and search our data, we normally have over 30 terabytes of storage on us at any specific time. Right? And yes, the searches have to be specific. But they can say it's a search warrant for the premises. You all are saying, oh, that's a violation of your rights. Oh, they can't just search warrant a general premises.
Look, we already know America doesn't really care about your rights.
And guess what? If they actually get a judge to sign off on it, what are you going to do? Tell them no? What are you going to do? Tell them no? They're going to give you a nice set of beautiful bracelets, and you're going to go in holding for 72 hours, where your business falls apart. Your ability to, run anything falls apart. You now have a mugshot, which ruins whatever credibility you had in the market of things. Like, this is a problem. Is it going to happen? We said there was no way these
I was going to say unlikely,
to...
but we have no idea anymore.
This is... yeah, it earns you street credit. Fine. Ooh. Yeah, Breaker 3D says one time. All it takes is one search warrant. It doesn't matter if there are waivers. That would be the end of Rocky Mountain. And you're right. It would be. Nobody... I would never go back. I would never go back. As a Florida man, I own firearms. I've never been, private about the fact that I own firearms. I've had to be very clear about the fact that I own and know how to use firearms more than once on this channel when we've had death threats come through. I would not go back. Because the concern that I have is because we carry so many SSDs, because we use SSDs for our screens. This is an 800 gig SSD.
Go off. Where's my one? Mine is the exact same one as yours, but it's the smaller 500 gig.
It's a 3710. Well, I also have the 1.6 terabytes, the 3 terabytes. I have a bunch of them.
3710, you say? Oh, it's bloody in the cage.
I also have 3610s, but yeah. I mean, so this is now. Oh, I told Jacob about this, but we bought a second Atomos Ninja recording screen. Already modded it with a 3D printed part to accept off-the-shelf SSDs through a cage on it.
So nice.
Yep, it is. I really do like it. But CZ Oliver says, why the hell did you get death threats? Bamboo. That's the best thing I can tell you. Breaker 3D said,
when you get a big enough community of anything, you will get everyone involved.
Yep.
All the reasonable and all the unreasonable.
I will say we had a year where there was a potential threat of violence at the convention. So I did what to me is the most reasonable thing. I called the cops. I called the cops. I called the non-emergency number. I spoke with the local sheriff from Loveland. I said, here's my concern. Here's what's going on. Here's the individual responsible for it. They educated me on the gun laws because I I have a concealed weapons permit. I can carry. They educated me as a Floridian on the laws. That's where I learned about their duty to retreat so that I would know. They told me that they have no issue with me carrying. You know, they don't care. They only ask if I do find myself back to a corner that my aim is judicious. I totally agree with that. I don't disagree. But they have been nothing but very welcoming, forthcoming, and very honest and ready to have a legitimate discussion about this. So, Justin, I would recommend that if this bill goes into law, I would give it a few months. So July 1 is when it would get signed. I would give it until August, September to really look at, does it get challenged at the Supreme Court? Does it get stopped? Anything like that. That kind of stuff, to me, is what's important, right? We have to look at opening a conversation.
Yeah.
We have to have a conversation, right? If we don't have a conversation, we don't know how they feel about it. The cops were all over the event that year, and they were super cool. In fact, I got to shake hands with the individual that educated me, and that was awesome.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Now, I get
Not
it.
gonna lie, that's quite cool.
I'm also operating on white privilege, firearms owner. I know, like, I'm operating on a lot of things that others don't. But F it, I'm going to use my powers for good. Okay? I'm going to use my powers for good in this. They had me for like half an hour, walk them around, show them some really cool things, and we got to sit down and have a legitimate talk, person to person, no cameras, no mics, no nothing, about the legitimate concern regarding 3D printed firearms. And I said, you don't have anything to worry about. So I said, your concern here is not all that valid because the bad guys are still going to do it. They're still going to take serial numbers off the guns. All you're really doing is limiting the good guys. And all these bills do are limit the good guys. That's a problem. So,
and that's one of the things I didn't like about the Washington one, which was...
No, the Washington one is very broad. It's very broad.
Punishing everyone,
well,
and there's so much overreach. So, at least the Colorado one seems fairly, from a European point of view,
yes,
reasonable.
And
this doesn't actually seem too bad, ignoring the fact you already have laws and amendments in place to protect you from stuff. This, I will admit, overreach on that, but the actual wording, I don't see a problem with. Like, I would be okay with that because it's still less lax than the UK. It's still generally fine. It's just, don't make guns. Don't do it. If you have a reason to have a gun, do it that way.
I think these laws are kind of obvious of don't be a dumbass, right? Like, okay, I get it. If you're in Colorado and you want to make 3D printable firearms, this is going to be a problem. This is a limitation of your rights. But I think that we all can agree, so far, this is the most reasonable limitation of the rights so far. It is a limitation, and shall not be infringed is very specific. This is infringing on that. And now we get into the, where do we stand with this Constitution? Because as far as I'm politically concerned, the Constitution has not mattered for about a year and a half, right? We have watched continuous violations of the Constitution, violations of law, violations of multiple amendments, including the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, and nobody has done anything. Now,
so,
again...
one of my questions I have for all of the Americans is, with the fact they're called amendments, I know that they were added to add extra clauses.
Correct.
But does that limit them from being removed or changed?
No. No.
Okay.
The Constitution...
So that's just not a thing.
The Constitution had an amendment that started prohibition. Then it made another amendment that ended prohibition. So it... Okay. There's the Constitution...
So it's entirely possible
prohibition,
they could just change it. They could just change the gun protection amendment to be like, nah,
they're not going.
It's on the states now.
You have a Republican presidency, the House and the Senate. are it is a super, it's called a super majority when one party controls all three, major parts of the government. There is, I would like to believe there's no chance, but I've seen some kind of crazy things come out of the Republican supermajority lately, where like they've been blaming Democrats for the TSA issue with workers not getting paid and things like that. Democrats brought up a bill that all it did was pay TSA. That's it. It was just a bill to pay TSA. And what was the vote?
Let me guess, it was denied.
Every single Republican voter or senator, whatever, voted no. And yet they still blamed Dems for. I'm like, guys, come on.
There's a difference between politics that's actually happening and the pandering politics, which is what's told to the consumers.
I'm
there's
also,
a big difference.
Real quick, I need to correct myself. I am wrong. A supermajority is enough votes to override a veto, not leadership of all the houses. Excuse me. Thank you for the correction.
But there is a big difference between what politics is actually happening and what politics is being viewed by everyone else. It's not an external input for viewing politics. So them saying no to the bill, them saying no to the bill and then blaming the Democrats. It was the Democrats, right? Yeah, it was. Sorry, your colors are backwards compared to the UK's, and it really messes with my head.
I'll even make it worse. At one point, the parties believed in the opposite. At one point, being a Republican meant that you were actually liberal, not conservative.
Wow.
Yeah, it shifted at one point.
So the politics of what they're putting on, like, the news, saying it's all the Democrats' fault, that's just political pandering for their representation. They want to keep their voters happy, and they will say one thing. Then the other side is what's actually happening behind the scenes. And we don't know if, or at least I don't know from an external viewer, where I don't get much American news because honestly it makes me depressed, is they might have intentionally denied the bill because having TSA work harder and under less money might be good for their votership, or it might be good for another thing that they're doing.
Getting into that gets way too political, but
it's
to sum it all up,
an entire game that is common in the UK.
Yes,
where what you see and what you get, two different things.
Two very different things.
You cannot pierce the veil half the time. They happen in back rooms and they happen with strategic planning that all we can see are the footsteps that are going towards a direction.
Yeah, and as Omar Garcia says, watching Democrats talking in the 90s, it's crazy. It is, yes. Go watch politics in the late 80s and early 90s. It's crazy. Jacob, I want you to go to a website for me.
Oh, no.
It's a real website. It was put out by the White House, Twitter account, by the press secretary, onlyfarms.gov. The presidency owns onlyfarms.gov.
What is this?
That should show you that just things don't matter anymore. It should just show you...
What hell world are we actually living in?
It doesn't matter anymore. People don't care about being professional anymore. They care about pissing off the other side. And this, to me, is one of those, like, clawbacks that we see from the Dems, right? Again, Washington, New York, Colorado, California, pretty much the four most Democratic states that we have in the 50 states. Okay.
I've got to say, though, whoever did the cinematography for that background video, ignoring the content of the video, really nicely done.
I mean, they've never done bad cinematography. It's just not always real. We've seen the White House use a lot of AI.
Yes, I have seen quite a few AI-generated things from the White House recently.
We see, as SoundSpark says, agencies violating the Hatch Act, and I don't know the Hatch Act off the top of my head, but we are watching literally in this podcast, I am watching my own morals when it comes to Second Amendment and the rights of users to have guns. I'm watching it being eroded, saying, well, I mean, out of all of them, this is the most reasonable. Shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. Like, let me do the clap. Shall not be infringed. Right? It's so dumb. And they're going after the dumbest thing. 3D printers do not pose a real threat for firearms. What they do pose a real threat for is drones. They pose a real threat for drone warfare. That is a problem, and I firmly believe that's where we're actually going, is it's to keep U.S. citizens from being able to legitimately produce their own means to protect themselves from government.
And you know what? If they start spreading to drones, I'm not actually against it. Because drones is quite literally... How do I say this without being really inflammatory? Drones are just really slow, low-power ballistic missiles. They're cruise missiles.
They're the most effective.
They are one of the highest cost per hit. I'm not going to use the right terminology because YouTube doesn't like it. Cost per effective outcome is a drone.
Their KD ratio is pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, their KD ratio is pretty good. Let's just go with that. James Wood with the £2 saying, I vote with my wallet for the drizzle cake. Actually, it's more about that lemon pound cake. Is that a reference you get?
Pound.
No.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You get this reference.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with your mother's lemon drizzle cake.
No. Isn't it a Singularity Falls reference?
Damn kids! It's
No.
Afro Man. It's an Afro Man reference. He had the Adams County Sheriff, great example right now, right? Produce a bullshit warrant, kick in his door because they said he was selling drugs. Just listen to the entire song. This man, legitimately an American hero. Because he brought one of the deputy's ex-wives as his only witness to this trial. They tried to get him to take down this video. He had cameras in his house, so he captured the entire raid, and he made a music video about it titled Lemon Pound Cake. Because all they found in his house was some lemon pound cake. They took a bunch of money. When they gave him his money back, the count was wrong. He was missing money, and he took that very personally, and he won. He just won, and he did it in a full American flag suit. The man was legitimately head to toe in the American flag. Afro Man.
Oh wait, I saw the picture of that,
Yes,
and that was literally like that was a vibe.
Yes,
100%. I'm with you on that.
Oh,
I don't care what anything happening behind it. If you show up to court wearing that, innocent. You get everything.
I'm sorry, but anyone that doesn't wear an American flag suit to court, you're missing out on it. And the memes online of, like, you know, cops the next time they go into Afro Man's house, they've got one of them, you know, in an apron, like, you know, sweeping up and fixing it, and like left them a recipe for their own pound cake. Oh my god. And even better, he released the recipe for his mother's pound cake.
Has anyone made it, and is it good?
Yes, it's good.
Okay, I've got to get that recipe now, because damn, I'll make it.
Yep. Yeah, so he Omar Garcia says I'm missing the part where he dropped the music video about it right before the trial, about the trial that was about to happen. I mean, this is the most weaponized use of your rights that exist. And see, the thing is, he's got the money to fight it. See, back in my day, we knew him from Colt 45, okay? He went from talking about smoking weed in the park to talking about First Amendment rights and how cops suck, right? And it's kind of great. Listen to it in the background for yourself right now. I'm going to talk about the law coming to New York.
Okay. Before you do that, I need to respond to Mad Cat.
Sure.
No, I am not missing a bit of my beard. I have a badger stripe appeared all of a sudden. Like, it's just super blonde.
Do you have vitiligo?
I don't know, but I've got a badger stripe.
So it's people.
Oh, look.
That is odd.
It's super blonde. And Rosie was noticing the other day, the base of my hair, I thought my hair was thinning a little bit, and I was like bricking it.
Dude,
I went to the doctor.
I'm receding some.
I've even gotten like a 3-month supply of like type 4 testosterone blockers specifically for hair because I don't want to lose my gorgeous hair. And then she looked the other day and like, it's not getting thinner, it's getting blonder.
Get tested.
My hair is starting to bleach again.
Get tested for vitiligo.
I mean, I'd look hot either way.
Uncle Jesse has it. He's talked about it. That's why he's got the stripe in his beard. It is from vitiligo. But
yeah, it's baby blonde.
Hey,
it's gorgeous.
Welcome to getting older. Your body's just
Rosie just sent me a message. You know all the Afroman songs, by the way. I keep playing them and they're on or reposting them on my Instagram. Okay, so I have definitely listened to them then. I'm just bad with music.
Yep. Colt 45 is a great song. It's hilarious that was ever played on radio. But yeah, like you look at what that man did. He stood up for his rights. Most citizens, had they been missing $400, would have just, oh well, I'm not going to get into a fight with the cops. Afroman said, effing bring it, homie. And he brought the fight to them.
And
he won. So, keep talking. Give me a second.
Okay.
Let me check my cameras.
Interesting. Oh no, we're talking about
talking.
gun bills, and now all of a sudden there's movement on cameras.
It's probably just Amazon, but I'll verify. Yep, it's Amazon.
But yeah.
It's all the filament I've ordered because both Inigo and NatureWorks have put out temporary price increases of raw material and we all know what that's from, guys and gals. So I am buying a ton. I literally in the last, I'm looking at 27 3-kilo rolls. I'm looking at 27 3 kilos. I'm looking at 100 kilos. Crazy. He was in court for them suing him for defamation, so he was forced to do so. Yes, he made the video. They sued him for defamation. He basically said it's a First Amendment right, pound sand, and yeah, it was fun. And yes, he was sued first. He countersued. Yeah. And these cost increases, I don't think are going away anytime soon. So just
no.
I'm not telling people to panic buy material. I'm looking at it saying we go through 30 to 50 kilos a week right now. I'm just giving myself enough material that I can at least weather the storm for a couple of weeks. So yeah.
I've already been given phone calls by shipping providers saying at some point American shipping lanes might be shut down. So keep that in mind. But at the same time, even the shipping companies like, it's unlikely. But we don't know what's going on anymore. No. So just keep it in mind. Nobody knows what's going on anymore.
That's part of the problem, is that nobody actually knows what's going on anymore. And that is also here in the States.
Look at the stock market. The stock market grows when it's stable, and it shrinks when it's unstable, and it has been shrinking. My portfolio is not looking quite good right now, and that was my bug out money for if things start going south really quickly, because a stock and a share doesn't care which country you're in.
Yeah, I am doing the correct thing which is just to ignore your portfolio for the next couple of years. And just
Yes.
remember that every 7 years it tends to double. Just leave it alone. Just, I
Yep.
know right now it's gonna suck. I recognize it. This is not financial advice. I am not an accountant, and this is a cat. I am just ignoring it. If you want to play the game, go ahead. There's plenty of defense contractors that you can play. I play that for fun, but for my real money, right? My savings, my future. I don't mess around like that. Yeah.
I do, because I'm an idiot, and I will happily say that.
Luke's Lab has the best saying. Time in the market beats timing the market every single time. Every single
I mean, it's right to say that nobody has lost money on the stock market as long as they left it in the stock market. Line kept going up.
And
Impossible to
Ian
lose.
Milne says, stock market down is buying at a discount. Sure, if you want to average down, average down. I'm never going to say that's a bad idea. But you are trying to catch a falling knife. And my foot will always remind me, because the scar appears to be permanent, that catching a falling knife is never a bad idea. Or never a good idea.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
definitely never a bad idea.
Yeah,
what if it damages the knife? Feet grow back, knives don't.
Well, I got lucky. I caught the ricochet. I didn't catch the actual fall. It fell. It hit a pad. I have like a ergonomic standing pad in my kitchen, so it doesn't suck to stand on tile. And it bounced off of that into the side of my foot.
Though, if you want to short sell the market, now might be a good time. Not financial advice.
But New York votes on the 1st. California is on the 14th of April.
I am very worried because, yes, this one isn't egregious and it went through, but it does provide a bit of a precedent for them going through.
It's eroding the rights, and the problem is this one going into law doesn't happen until the first votes for the New York and the California one have already gone through. And so I hate to say this, Jacob, but chances are we're going to be doing another one of these. At least.
Yay!
And we'll do it after Rocky Mountain. Okay? That way I don't have to deal with this right before I leave for Rapid, then Rocky Mountain, because they're right after each other. But yeah, it's
I am concerned. I'm very concerned.
And
I'm concerned that your rights as a country are being rapidly eroded in front of our eyes. Yeah. But also, it's laying the framework for, let's call it, political movings that can be very impactful to regular people's lives.
This is the concern. The concern that I have is just that. This is the start. And we've watched a lot of our rights get eroded. Things like your biometrics can be used. You can be compelled to give your thumbprint, your face, whatever, as a biometric thing. That to me is a Fourth Amendment thing. Like that's and Fifth.
I'm okay with that.
No,
I'm okay with that because if somebody can look at you under good enough quality and they can get an identifier from you,
nope,
that's
I don't like
okay.
it.
But
like it.
Trying to get passwords from people, that's my line. Like, you can't extract information. You can only receive it from passive sources.
I would believe that there are special forces individuals that thoroughly disagree with that statement of yours. You can, in fact, extract data, passwords from people. I am aware. You just have to try hard enough.
But I'm saying legally. I like that line. I like that line.
Luke, I'm mad at you. He said, don't forget the flock effing cameras everywhere. You know about flock?
Is this the ICE cameras?
Kind of.
So, for anyone who's not massively aware of the UK, we have tons of cameras. Yes. I'm kind of blind to them now, but also my government doesn't hate me yet. It's getting there. So what are flock cameras?
They're pretty much exactly that. They are government security cameras. under the guise of AI surveillance to keep you safe. There have been multiple
does that
people.
mean?
There have been multiple. So they're license plate readers, and they recognize cars. So they don't just look at your license plate, but they look at dents, dings, scratches, colors, drivers. They're AI cameras. They use this information, and they're all over the place now. And there are websites that you can go to and apps you can download to find them, where they look, so you can do your best to avoid them. But they can sell that data to insurance companies. So if you're going through flock cameras faster than you should, oh no, you're breaking the speed limit. You can, in theory, retroactively get a ticket for it. Your insurance rates can go up because you were speeding. And let's say it's a 30-mile-an-hour zone. We all know that 30 mile an hour means you're not getting a ticket at 35. Okay, no cop's gonna waste their time. Right. But a flock camera will. Flock cameras have also created the instances where people have been flagged for felonies they never committed because their vehicle matched a decent enough description of a vehicle that was involved in a felonious act.
I don't like that. No, that's way too far. Like, the UK is bad, but in a good way.
Yep.
Where, so there are tons of cameras that aren't police cameras. They aren't insurance cameras. They are for safety. And what I mean by that is, on every motorway, there is a camera watching every part of the motorway. If there is an accident, it will automatically shut the motorway and call emergency services before people can even get the phone out. It's also used as part of the early warning terrorist detection system. So if, say, like, my trip, for example, every day, I leave my home, I drive through a ring road, and I get to my factory. And if that was my everyday and I wasn't a military contractor, they would be tracking that. And if all of a sudden I start driving in a random direction at a random time, going to a random place, it does flag that up to just do a wider search of why are you going there. Because normally people don't leave their lanes. They don't leave their family groups, they don't leave their friend groups, and they don't randomly go to a protest that they've had no interest in. That's what the UK does quite a lot, is they can catch people before they do actions by tracking you. But it's locked. It's locked for one particular purpose. It's not given to
and
insurance
it's government
companies.
Owned, right? Flock?
Yes, it is government owned.
Flock is private. Flock is private. And guess who's involved in it, Jacob?
Who?
The biggest data companies in the world. Peter Thiel, Palantir, they're involved. And is it Ben Jordan? Is it the chat will tell me, but I believe it's Ben Jordan who's the one that has like found all these different ways to deal with it. But of course, as Luke's Lab said, Flock has 512-bit AES encryption. Sawzalls get rid of that pretty much instantly.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that. Like, as somebody, and hell, I've been to China. I did not feel bad about that. Yes, you know you're being watched,
dude,
but that is an okay thing as long as it's handled correctly.
There's an effing Flock camera at the end of my private road. The homes that I'm on, or the homes on my street, we all own halfway to the road. So we own the road. It is a private road. At the end of the private road is a Flock camera. I literally cleared a path in my yard so I can leave my house in only one direction to not be photographed by an effing Flock camera.
Oh no, a Flock camera caught a stray ricochet 51 times in the camera.
That would be a felony, because that's discharging a firearm in public.
Stray? Yeah, but it's on your private property.
Yeah. Well, no, the camera's not on my private property.
But a ricochet, that's out of your control at that point.
You're still responsible for where those bullets land. That is like literally part of the 4 fundamentals of gun safety, good sir. You must know your target and what's behind it. Sorry.
Yeah, but nobody's saying you can't have a steel plate slightly angled and you're firing into that, and you're like, oh, it's fine, it's
Look,
fine. Oh, the cam got hit.
I'm not saying to do things, but if people
Oh, the next door neighbor shot it.
If people treated flock cameras the way they should treat Bradford pear trees, we'd be fine. Be fine. That is not an encouragement for you to do it, though. Do your own crap. Laser pointer directed at the camera lens. So that's something that I've thought about too. They're infrared cameras because we can see them activate the infrared lights. All I do is I just flip at the bird every single time I go by it. Every time I drive by, I'm just giving it the finger.
See, now I just want to buy the data to make a collage of you flipping the bird at it.
Yeah, I just flip at the bird constantly. My neighbors threaten to shoot it. I told her, no, please don't. Yeah, a laser at the camera lens, in theory, could damage it, but you'd really have to.
But they'd also know where it's coming from.
Yep.
Because a laser, unless you hit immediately, it will see where it's coming from.
But it's like the same thing they do in the UK with the traffic cameras, where they'll hit them with paintballs or they'll spray paint them so they're obscured. But see, the thing is, people like these cameras because they see it as a net benefit to them. It's the same way that, like, people use the Ring doorbells. People use Eufy cameras, even though Eufy has been shown to have massive security vulnerabilities multiple times. Like, people look at it and say, oh, this is for the greater good. People will look at these laws and say they're for the greater good. And they're not. They're not. The only people that should decide how safe you are you and your family. If you don't think you're safe, make yourself safer. If you are afraid of bad guys with guns, be a good guy with a gun. If you are afraid of people 3D printing guns, then buy a real gun and protect yourself if you're that afraid of it. But I firmly believe that the fears that we have as a country, as a community, and as individuals are solely based upon the fact that we don't know everything, and what we don't know scares us. And that's annoying. And oh yeah, all new routers are banned. All new routers made in China are banned in the States now.
I mean, I can understand why. Like, that's not too bad. I don't like it because they make some really good stuff out there. But it's the same reason, like, Huawei was banned in the UK for a time, because there was quite a big scare, which was proven to not really be a scare. For 5G towers, but that was mostly a 5G scare than it was an anything else scare.
So Luke says that, like, he can agree with the router ban.
Oh, Net 7 ruins all routers made anywhere, not just China. Consumer routers only, so unify consumer or business.
Are we sure that it's anywhere? I'm almost positive it's China. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong.
You know what? I could see it being American only made.
And that's...
I could see that.
Okay, okay, anywhere outside of the US. Thank you for the correction. We don't have the ability to manufacture it in our country. We don't have the infrastructure. We don't have manufacturing capabilities to do this locally. It doesn't exist. It doesn't
Supply
exist.
chains, y'all. Like, America is not great at the moment for manufacturing. We've been seeing it a lot recently. You guys getting more insular with your trade and your manufacturing.
And we don't have
except
capabilities
there's been
to do
no
it.
Investment in manufacturing.
But we have
like, if you want to do that,
we have
brilliant.
onlyfarms.gov though, guys. God.
Oh. Caleb, Starlink routers are the only US-made router.
No chance. No chance they're made in the USA. No chance. No chance. There's no chance. But
it's in Texas. Bastrop, Texas.
where are the chips? Oh, it's partially made here. It's TAA compliant. Is it? So this is where, like, we have to say, what do we consider USA made? Where, yeah, is it assembled? Is it made? Where's the silicon come from? Right? The silicon, I should say. Where's the silicon come from? Where are the chips coming from? If we use Chinese chips, is that acceptable? We don't have chip manufacturers here in the States. It's too effing expensive. It's too expensive.
Yeah. There's no way you can get chip manufacture in the the US, because you don't have it.
Well,
but I could understand part assembled.
This is why I'm just glad that my routers for the last, like, 6 years have all been custom built. We build our own routers from scratch. And yes, we have some chip manufacturers. We don't have the capacity. Right? The only thing that's just about 100% USA manufactured is Amish goods. Shane's right. And hey, by the way, you know what? I won't give it away. I'll give it away closer to the start. Shane is going to be streaming soon, and it's a really exciting stream, and I want people to go turn it on as well. And follow Shane on Twitch. But my routers have been custom built for years, right? We use a fully passively cooled, I think it's a quad core processor. It's got 16 gigs of RAM. It's got 2.5 gig LAN on it, even though, like, my internet is nowhere near that fast.
Hey, intranet is important.
Yes.
Having a good intranet, great.
Yes, but the freaking Mac Minis only have gigabit, so... But nonetheless, that is a problem. And people are going to say, that's okay. I get it. TP-Link and quite a few other companies are notorious for having telemetry that goes back to other countries. This is where ITAR comes in, right? International Traffic in Arms Regulation. And that has, for years, dictated the traversal of data, including data with firearms in it, right? But nobody that is smart runs TP-Link for anything other than, like, non-mission critical stuff. And I will point out, and it's something that I've been pointing out to Prussia, guess what Wi-Fi dongle the HT90 comes with, Jacob?
Which one?
It comes with an N300 TP-Link Wi-Fi dongle.
Okay. That's kind of interesting.
And Luke said, if hostile countries control our internet infra and have backdoors, it absolutely makes sense to freak out about this shit. I don't disagree with you. But do you trust your own government more?
If router also includes the dongles, then Prusa needs a new supplier, because TP-Link is a Chinese supplier.
And look, the nice thing about the HT90 is it's a USB dongle. Don't plug it in. No problem. No issues. Right? But yeah, come on, guys. Like, it's a $12,000 printer. Spring for an Intel dongle. But yeah, it's so frustrating to me that we're seeing this under the guise of America first, make America great again, and we are not set up to be that level of great. And by the time we will be, he won't be in office anymore, or shouldn't be in office anymore. It's going to take years, if not decades, for USA manufacturing to catch up. And I promise you it is going to be 3 to 5 times more than you're paying right now, if not more. And Luke said, I don't trust our government, but I have a far easier path to making them listen to my concerns. Do you, though? Like, do you, though? We're not Afro Man, right? We can't just defend ourselves in a defamation case and then countersue because we feel like it. Luke, if you or I, or any sole business owner, right? I mean, we're not sole proprietors, but businesses that rely on the individual got into a lawsuit about something like that, your business ceases to exist. Your business legitimately ceases to exist because you will be spending your time fighting the lawsuit, not running your damn business. And that's why companies and businesses like Lockheed, Raytheon, Halliburton, they're able to exist because they don't have the same problems that small businesses do. He said, hell, our town outlawed data centers. Sure. Sure. I love that. My town's too small and doesn't have fiber internet, so we're not going to have it. Small towns can do that. They can fight back. But small towns against big government doesn't win. Same Old Chain said, wait, what? Damn, I was going to write a rap album, but FloridaMan songs about the popo was funny. It's true. Yeah, we talked about lemon pound cake earlier. We have to be very careful. And Jacob, you guys have seen what we consider rights in the US being eroded in the UK. And you seem to believe that that's acceptable.
It depends.
Acceptable-ish, right?
So there's a split mentality.
Sure.
One of them is pretty much everyone that I know in the UK. It's more of a global feeling. We're watching your rights get eroded slowly over time, and we don't like it because the whole point of the US is it's a very proud nation with very strict.
Yeah, we kicked your asses out 250 years ago. That one's for you.
And we burnt down your White House, which is why it's called the White House.
Well, it was green previously, but you know.
Yeah, well, now it's white, but soon to be gold. But the point being,
I'm not making a comment on that.
We are watching what is core to your country slowly be crumbling and eroded and changed. And it's scary. And that doesn't mean we have to agree with the individual steps. Like, I think the California thing is kind of okay. But that's coming from a position of, well, we've got something similar and therefore it's kind of okay. What we don't find okay is it's overriding your rights.
Yeah.
We do live by the rule of, we have our laws, you have your laws. They don't really mingle. Like, we will do what we want to do, you do what you want to do, but what we're seeing is your rule set changing. We don't know what that is. And when a rule set changes, it makes uncertainty. When an uncertainty kicks in, it means, can we trust you? A lot of the goodwill that America's built up as the world police and as the like financial bedrock for the world is rapidly dwindling to the point where we don't know what you guys are doing.
I don't think we know what we're doing.
And that's the problem. Like, how can, as allies, trust a country where they don't tell their allies what they're planning? Probably because they also don't know themselves and they're willing to erode even their most fundamental rights because funny orange man has a plan, but he won't tell anyone what the plan is if there is one.
Mm-hmm. And
like, it's... And then you've got also, the UK really has quite a strong and, like, emotion for separation of state and religion. And you guys are blending that really fast recently.
We have a separation of church and state. We've had it for years. But, again, the laws only apply to people that can't afford to break them.
Yeah. And it's all well and good people being like, I want to do this because this is what I believe in, and my religion is like allowing me to do that because that's what I believe in. But you don't take that away from others. That's a personal drive. That isn't I'm going to remove your rights because mine are better. And we're seeing a lot of that as well. And it does concern so many people.
So here's the thing that Luke points out is that laws they only apply if people enforce them. And that's the thing with these gun bans. So Tanner Dudeman wanted a short of the legislation. In Colorado, making replicas and figures, you're fine. In Washington, New York, California, not so much. And for those of you that are 3D model makers and you're based in the States, or you're in a country that has extradition to the United States, we might have some legal issues here. But this also brings me to like the ITAR talk, right? Where it's like, if it's even remotely dealing in firearms, it falls under ITAR, and you have to make sure that it doesn't get outside of your field of distribution, right? You have to be able to control distribution. You will likely have to control distribution of files. This means huge things for printables, MakerWorld, Fangs, Thingiverse, My Mini Factory, even for places like DefCAD, Odyssey, and other places that have played in the yar matey side of things. Because these laws don't give you an oopsie daisy. I mean, the Colorado one has a bit of an oopsie daisy clause in it for the knowingly, but again, you have to be able to properly defend the oopsie daisy part of it and not just fail. And the vast majority of Americans can't afford to do what Afroman did. The vast majority of them will take a plea bargain because it gets them out of jail faster, because it means they don't have to go to court. And that sucks. We have quickly watched our rights get eroded, and we've watched our ability to defend those rights get eroded as the cost of living is going up, but the money that you make stays stagnant. The average U.S. citizen, the average family, doesn't have an emergency savings fund anymore. At best, people might have $3,000-$4,000, and that's if they're lucky.
Yeah.
If shit hits the fan and all of a sudden their house catches fire, there are people, that's it. It's over. They're living on the street. And that's assuming that their town hasn't criminalized being homeless. I can't begin to describe how dystopian it gets very quickly. And as someone,
I do feel like I'm watching the end of Rome. Like the empire is crumbling, it's falling to pieces. It can still be saved, but with the way it's going, it's not going to be the same America in 5 years' time as it is 5 years ago. Yeah. And yes, it's concerning, especially when you guys have nukes. Very concerning. The largest military in the world, or maybe, I don't know, maybe Poland's catching up, I don't know. You guys should have a lot more handle on things than being able to ignore all your own rules.
If nothing
Even
else,
Rome had a bloody Senate, and it worked.
I mean, we have a Senate too, it's just controlled by...
Yours is just bypassable.
Yes. This is the time where I have to remind you, go out and vote. Make sure you're registered to vote. Hell, they're introducing the SAVE Act, or they're trying to introduce the SAVE Act, where if your name and sex at birth do not match your name and sex currently, you can lose your ability to vote. Now, Jacob, you might immediately think that that's going after the LGBTQIA community, and certainly. Jacob, when's another time that people change their names?
When they get married.
When they get married.
Way! This is a lovely way to make women not have rights again.
It's not the full potential removal of women's suffrage, which is women's right to vote.
Kinda is, though.
No, but that
you get married, you lose your ability to vote. It's not good.
It is the concern that I have. It targets everybody. Like, look, it has always been illegal to vote without a citizenship. It's always been illegal. And they literally went through all the cases of voter fraud and found less than 100 cases of actual voter fraud. And we're going after this like it's Well, I would say like it's the Middle East in 2001, but here we are again, boys. We're going to war. This is the kind of shit that I don't like as an American.
I mean, we're living in a world where Elon Musk on Twitter literally said he meddled with an entire state's like postal votes, so they were auto filled out as somebody. Like, no, I guess that gets through. I guess that's not fraud. No worries, because he's rich.
And oh yeah, Jacob,
He could just be saying something because he's insane, but
so previously the maximum age to enter the military was 35 years old. I'm 36. It was great. Yeah, they raised it to 42, Jacob. Do you know why they raised the average age to, or the maximum age to join the military, Jacob?
because they're running out of people.
Or they're looking to start a draft.
Oh, that's not going to go down well. Not like people will get a choice.
There are plenty of people that fundamentally agree with what is going on right now. My herniated discs will likely keep me from getting drafted, for whatever that's worth. And certainly they don't want this guy out there. Okay, you don't want FloridaMan with thousands of videos online with his full likeness on your front lines. You certainly don't want him piloting stuff or anything like that. So, you know, you don't want FloridaMan involved in this. But, dude, these are things that we legitimately have to worry about. And, well, yes, I get it. The 3D printing guns thing and the laws, that's a big deal too. I'm more worried about the war. I'm more worried about how it affects my future, right? So I was already born at this age for my parents, right? My dad is 60. I think he'll be 68 this year. I think. I could be wrong. My dad's in his late 60s, right? I'm 36. If you double my age, my dad would be 72. When you are half of your parents' age, that's the year that you were born. So your parents were X amount of years old when you were born. I can't imagine starting a family right now. I can't.
It's scary. Like, finance to one side, geopolitically, it's unstable. There's not much winning at the moment.
Yeah.
And especially if you've got a bit of foreign blood in you, it's getting even scarier.
And, dude, the bills to just effectively, like the Washington bill, to effectively outlaw 3D printing. And I get that it has, like, it will likely get messed with a little bit. I mean, geez, I didn't expect the Colorado one to get as edited as it did. I think the edits that have gone on so far on the Colorado one are actually, like, reasonable edits. I don't agree with the bill, but I'm at least seeing some level of thought put into the edits in the bill. Brother, the Washington bill basically flat outlaws 3D printers without full effing telemetry. And same thing with New York, and that is regarding what they consider banned objects.
And that's what I don't like. It's
what do we
ambiguous,
consider banned
overreaching,
objects? Yes.
and can very quickly be, we updated the text file list. Everything's banned. Anyone using it on this day, gulag. Right now.
Let's move away from people producing firearms. Let's look at corporate interest. Right? I have an old car. That old car had a huge problem. Remind me at the end of the stream, I held a piece of my car that I should never be holding this last week, and we can talk about it.
Oh no.
Yep, it's not great. I have a solution. It's not a great solution, but I have an idea. I have a proposed idea of a solution, right? The problem that we have is with big corporations coming further and further and further into the home. We've run into, oh, well, you can't print parts for your washing machine, for your oven, for your kitchen cabinets, because those are banned because it goes against the shareholders. Somebody think about the shareholders. And yes, you can sit here and say, oh, that's FUD, that's bullshit. I don't care. Because we all sat here and said there's no way these bills make it past their first vote. They are going absolutely nowhere. And here we are. This is going to be law. Will it get challenged? Don't know. But it will be law. This is getting written into law. Look at John Deere, as Con Man says. Look at John Deere and look at all the ways they've kept farmers from fixing their own equipment. Farmers are becoming ethical hackers. And if you don't see that as a further way to limit your abilities to operate 3D printers for not just your personal gain, but commercial gain, you're out of your mind. Crazy. You're missing the point. And I hate it because I feel like I sound like oh god, what's his name? What's the crazy man? They're turning the friggin' frogs gay, man. What's his name? His name
I
is
don't know names.
me.
I know memes.
He's meme.
He is a meme.
Yeah, I feel like I sound like him right now. Right? I feel like I
The
sound
problem
like
is you're
some
not.
crazy
You're not
conspiracy
actually insane.
theorist.
It's just you're looking at the writing on the wall as it's being written. You're going, "Hey guys, the
Alex
sentence is
Jones,
going to
thank
end
you.
pretty
Jesus.
badly." Like, it doesn't take a genius to know what the next couple of words are on the writing on the wall.
Yes.
Especially when they've slowly started with ink and they're ending in blood.
Yes.
This isn't good. And honestly, I don't know at this stage how much irreparable damage has happened.
A lot.
Because it does seem like your government is becoming evangelical crazy, just a bit too much, and then your states are becoming corporate. They're becoming ownership. Like, the state is not a place where people live. It's a corporation that has people eating the corporate food, drinking the corporate water, working in the corporate office to get paid the corporate wage to cycle it back in again. I do not know where your country is going, and it's scary. It's concerning. I don't know if you want to do the stupid every state is now its own country thing, or you want to do it the other way, where some really good leader actually comes in and goes, let's unscrew this. But something's gone horribly wrong, and it's probably a mixture of everything. Corporate oversight, greed, way too many people saying yes, no safety protections been put in place and then slowly eroded until it's fallen apart. All of these have led to where we are today, and it's getting worse, and it's getting worse faster. And that's probably what people are picking up on now, is the pot isn't slowly boiling anymore. They just put it on maximum burner and you're feeling the heat faster. It's not good, and I don't know what many people can do. Like, being not American, we can't do anything. You guys are kind of insular. Our leaders for our governments and our countries basically have zero say, because your current leader has proven he doesn't listen to anyone. He listens to himself and his own party. At which point does the world get involved, or do we just back out and we just let you guys be like, you know what, if you want to go insular, you close your walls up, you can collapse in, we'll be there afterwards, because at least we're stable for the most part.
I feel like right now we kind of just have to, you know how sometimes you have to do a prescribed burn, right? You have to burn part of the forest down to let it regrow. You know, like there can be these big wildfires that are done purposefully. I feel like we're kind of there where everybody else just kind of has to watch the dumpster burn.
Yep.
So we can actually get rid of the trash. And Thank you to Nomad's Galaxy for the $5 saying they're putting chemicals in the water to turn the Flexi Dragons real. That's a good one. I like that.
I think one of the biggest problems we've seen with everything that's going on is because of your degradation with mental health services and with corporate control of news agencies, you've got quite a large growing class of people on every part of the political spectrums that are insular. They've made cults of politics where anything and everything that goes against their views is wrong, and on top of that, anything and everything that your party does must be correct. There is no introspection.
No.
And even if, say, like,
it's
a different
we good,
leader comes
they
in,
bad, too bad.
Yeah, even if a different leader comes in, or is like the perfect leader for everyone, the problem is the cults won't accept it because it wasn't their choice.
Correct.
And it's almost like this, well, I need it my way, otherwise I'm throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's, I will watch everything burn down until my choice is there. And it grew from a couple of crazy people in a town to an online forum where you get a lot of people, and now it's a group because they're all corroborating each other, and it reinforces that mentality. And once you have reinforcement, it's almost impossible to break.
Yep.
And that's the problem I'm seeing. And the problem I'm seeing is, even if everything reset, like your entire political spectrum, all of your politicians, your Senate, all of it got wiped away and rebuilt from the ground up in one day, the people who they made turn into worshippers are still there. The people have become from people to sheep by training.
Sheeple!
And they didn't get a say in it.
They're all sheeple!
But the thing is, they didn't get a say in it. And that's what is scary, is when you can rapidly entrench and condition someone, they don't get a say anything.
No.
They believe what you tell them, and now that's it.
Yep.
And normally you have to have a bigger entity take them in, recondition them to being back to what they should have been. But there isn't a bigger entity anymore. The bigger entity is now the cults. And that's never going to work.
Cults 3D? Sponsor us! I don't know. You're not wrong, right? And yes, I would agree that the last probably 2 decades of this country have been a frog boiling in water. Slowly, right? The frog doesn't know it's being boiled. But in the last couple of years, we've replaced the propane with MAP gas. We've turned the heat up. And some of the frogs are realizing they're being boiled. But they're also realizing they don't have a lot of places to go.
Yeah.
Like, because it's become, like, I was having this talk with my cousin last night that, you know, yeah, my house has tripled in value, but so has everybody else's home. If I was to sell this house and try to move somewhere else, I can't buy what we have right now for the same price. I can't do it. And so you're effectively stuck. And sure, with enough gusto, enough time, and enough money, you're not stuck. But you certainly feel that way. And for people that live in Colorado, California, New York, Washington State, I would assume you won't be alone for very long. I assume that more states are going to pass it. I believe we're going to see it happen on more Democrat-controlled states before we see it in Republican-controlled states. But I say that, and yet Florida, for as free as many people think that Florida is, has some really odd gun control laws, right? You know, they always say, you know, Florida is the lawless land. It's not. We have some, like, really oddly specific gun laws, but we also have specifically the FRT ban. That's a force reset trigger. It effectively gives you fire rates similar to a fully automatic firearm on a semi-automatic firearm. Hoffman Tactical has great videos on it. Go watch it. In fact, I think they're actually both educational, funny, and super cool use of 3D printing, regardless of whether or not it's legal in your state. But they continue to go back and forth, and you actually don't know. You don't actually know if FRTs are legal, and it then, of course, comes down to the police officer. If you're doing something that's totally legal, and the cop thinks it's not, you're still going to jail, homie. And you might be there overnight. You might be there for an afternoon. They're still taking your mugshot, and at midnight, your mugshot goes live because of the sunshine laws. And if you are a 3D printing business owner, Florida 3D printing business owner arrested for suspicion of selling 3D printed firearms. They are the owner of, X company. Dude, your company's done. You're done. If I don't care if you were innocent, you're done. And your entire livelihood is gone. Can you imagine getting arrested for something, it going public, you weren't in the wrong, and it destroys Construct 3D overnight? Can you imagine?
I would cry.
I would imagine
we do a lot of stuff that we've been warned by the police that things might happen because of our position in the country. It's not something that we're not aware of, but the reputation impact would kill the company. There is no way to come back from that.
I guess you could be done, or you could run for president. I mean, those are your two options, I guess.
Okay, I might last longer than some of our prime ministers.
I mean, Hegantic says you would sue for defamation, but it's not defamation. You were arrested for suspicion of selling 3D printed firearms. That's not defamation. That's legitimate. And see, this is imagine you just maybe asleep with a cop's ex-wife, and they find out about it. They're not happy about it. They'll arrest you. Right? And sure, it's an overreach of power. They'll get a slap on their... Maybe they'll even get fired, and they'll get hired by another sheriff's office, 2 counties over kind of thing. This is where we run into... Where can this... I hate that I have to sit here and kind of be like a... I'm trying to think of the right word. Like a conspiracy theorist. And going further, where's my tinfoil, right? Where's my damn tinfoil? But we have seen legitimately useful laws get weaponized against our own citizens. And we've seen that often these are disenfranchised citizens. They are not the type of citizens that can afford to defend themselves. They're not the type of citizens that can afford a Streisand effect, right? Lemon Pound Cake didn't have a lot of views until he got sued. And then the Streisand effect took over, and literally Lemon Pound Cake was trending on TikTok as literally lyrics in the song. Not many of us have reaches like that. Not many of us have those abilities. And you would think that, we elected these officials. They have common sense. Common sense is not common anymore. And what can we do as a community to do better?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I don't either.
I feel like you've been put in an untenable situation.
Yeah.
There is no winning. There is no losing. There is just loss.
Nomad said, Grant for president. My business card already says I'm president, so I'm already there. It just says president and CEO of 3D Musketeers, but, whatever.
Honestly, I think your entire political system's kind of screwed. Even the citizens have been put in a position where they can't even make informed decisions anymore, entirely because you've got corporate oversight perfectly manipulating every side of the spectrum.
You know, it's funny because the older I get, the more my eyes open wide, the more I realize these conspiracy theorists are not as wrong.
They're not
as
sounding that crazy anymore.
Also, Steve Build's just dropping 20 friggin' memberships. He's streaming after this.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's working on, but we will send you guys over to hang out with Mr. Steve Builds. And since I am going to take a bit of a second to thank the people that have donated and helped out, we saw Thomas rejoin again. So, Steve's not streaming. Even better. Even better. So, in 4 minutes, I didn't read my Twitter message. You didn't send me one until after I started streaming, apparently. Let's see when Steve sent me a Twitter message. 2 hours ago. I was
okay, that's on
11:19 a.m. Okay, fine. I technically wasn't streaming, but I was getting ready. He'll be back with a vertical build after Colorado. Nice. Oh, a few week hiatus. Okay, interesting. I'm very curious as to what thing Steve is working on now for Rocky Mountain. But at 2 p.m. in 4 minutes, Same Old Shane is going live with special guest Amber.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Shane and Amber are going to be co-streaming building Lego. So
hell yeah.
That's where we'll have to send you guys. If all goes well, you'll really like what I'm bringing to Colorado. I assume it's Index. It better be Index. I hope it is. I love you, Steve. I hope it's Index. But
so what I'm hearing is that we should end the stream in 3 minutes to send everyone over there.
Well, it's on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Same Old Shane. Someone can put the link in the chat there. He said he's bringing Index. He said he's bringing Index, but this is different. Is it an automatic belt path feeder for the Trident? I can't stand up right now, Steve. He said, wow, I'm really close. Oh, God. But that's all I'm saying. All right. I'll take it. I'm concerned.
You should always be concerned.
So Omar asked if he missed the coupon code for All Clean. You didn't, but if we get to 100 likes, there's 193 people watching it, only 68 likes.
Come on, we can do it. We can do it.
Get to 100 likes. Get to 100 likes, and we will release the we will release the coupon code for the All Clean. If you do want to get 3D Prima filament, Glenn is, of course, in the chat now, so you can bother him. But if you do want to get some filament from 3D Prima, there is a coupon code in the description of this video. Please use it. It supports the channel and actually shows 3D Prima that you went and shopped with them because of us. And that will help us out with, building larger partnerships. Thanks. 92 likes, 97 likes. We'll get there eventually. But this is... So Gigantic says, this has been the plan since the 80s. Look up the Newt Gingrich plans. Reaganomics, contract with America, packing the Supreme Court, then the hanging Chad election decision, and then Citizens United. Sure. Right? Sure. I'm sure. What can we do? Right? Other than get out and vote, what can we do? This is the reminder to make sure you're registered. Literally, I got my library card yesterday because we found out, Jacob, that the library has a seed program. We can get seeds from the library for free.
That's quite cool.
Yep. 5 packs of seeds a month. They have a whole database on the seeds, so you can order them in because we are going to be starting to farm. We are going into agriculture here at 3D Musketeers. Part of
that's fantastic.
what we're doing is both printer agriculture and real agriculture as part of the growth of 3D Musketeers. I've got some planter bed thingies coming in. We're gonna put, it's gonna be a whole thing. There's probably not gonna be content on it initially until we start to actually like get things moving in the right direction. But yeah, I made sure, I'm like, hey, am I still registered to vote? And they're like, yep. I said, is this the party I'm registered to vote for? Yep. Cool. Thanks. Mike C8101 said his Grant is starting a grow house. You assume we don't already have greenhouses on the property. We do. We have one. We have one greenhouse on the property. It's not full of anything right now because we took everything out of it for the hard freeze we had a couple of weeks ago. Haven't put it back yet. And yes, a farm bot is in the plan. With lasers.
You're doing a laser-based
computer vision to kill weeds with lasers.
Weed killer. Oh,
I happen to
have
a 36-watt diode laser cutter head that is on an open gantry laser cutter, so it is no.
They're dead.
I'm gonna take that off, and I'm gonna mount it onto a farm bot. Randy Parker said 3D printed lawnmower blades. The grass just started growing again, so there's a patch of it that I've marked out that I'm letting grow. So soon TM. Glenn Strum with the only farm bots. I like it. Rexit gifted a membership. Well, thank you. Nomad got it. I appreciate it. So we got the likes, Jacob.
There we go. So, for everyone who wants to pick up a kit of All Clean, the official coupon code for 15% off, which covers quite a bit of the shipping cost, is Making Awesome.
Yep.
Nice and simple.
One word.
It's pretty much the exact same. One word. It's just Making Awesome. Yep. I don't know if capitals mess it up. I did it without capitals, but it should work. I have tested it. We are globally shipping already, and the reason we can say this is on Friday, me, Rosie, Mum, Dad, and our chemical bottling plant, we all sat around a table and we officially signed the worldwide exclusive contract for that chemical line. We are the only ones allowed to use that chemical makeup and any derivative of it in the entire world, and it is the best that you can physically get your hands on. And for anyone wondering, there you go. There's the links and the coupon. COUPON. Yes, I can spell. Making
I want to see what the website looks like.
Awesome.
I'm pulling it up too.
The website's still a bit jank in places. I am still working on it. I have been very busy. But the store page is better than the other store pages. But I'm working on it. We're doing a complete site refresh in the next coming weeks. But the main thing is that link to the All Clean. It works. And for anyone wondering, the coupon code does work store-wide. So if you want to pick up a printer at the same time, you can get 15% off right now.
Yep.
And that code will work until the 30th. Not tomorrow, the 30th next month, on the 4th.
Yeah, now we have to see how many clicks you get out of this. Nomad Galaxy gifted a membership, went to Con Man. He said he was passing it along. Thank you very much.
Oh, somebody's always saying the site's been hugged to death. I'm surprised because I paid extra just in case.
Wait, is it really already down?
I should have 10,000 people coverage.
It loaded for me. It loaded for me.
Yeah, it's working. It's working on my side.
Jacob, do you have it? Oh, can't open cart. Jacob.
Oh, I wonder if the cart API server got DDoSed.
Oh, no.
What? What?
Well, Jacob, why don't you figure that out, and I'll work on. I'll talk about some of the laws here in a bit.
I've never had the cart crash before. I've
Okay.
had the website be DDoSed.
You've got enough time. I can talk about the
That's quite
California one
funny.
since we haven't
This is
talked about
lovely.
it yet. Jacob, get it fixed so people can actually order
I'm
it.
trying.
All right. So here is, I'm going to read the Legislative Council's digest for the Article AB 2047 Firearms Three-Dimensional Printing Blocking Technology for California. I'm going to read their little snippet on it. AB 2047 was introduced by Bauer Kahan, Firearms Three-Dimensional Printing Blocking Technology. Existing law makes it a crime to knowingly or willfully cause another person to engage in the unlawful manufacture of firearms, or knowingly or willfully aiding, abetting, promoting, or facilitating the unlawful manufacture of firearms, including the manufacture of assault weapons or 50 BMG rifles, or the manufacture of any firearms using a three-dimensional printer as specified. This bill would require the Department of Justice or other relevant state agency to engage in an investigation of known firearm blueprint design files and existing firearm blueprint detection algorithms as defined. The bill would require, on or before July 1st of 2027, the department or other relevant state agencies to publish written guidance on the performance standards for persons or entities engaged in the creation of firearm blueprint detection algorithm to be certified for the use by three-dimensional printer manufacturers as specified. The bill would require the department or other relevant state agency to prepare the written guidance on performance standards to accept applications for certification of firearm blueprint detection algorithms and begin issuing certifications for algorithms that meet or exceed the performance standards on or before January 1st of 2028, and would specify the grounds for revocation of certifications pursuant to those provisions. The bill would require the department or other relevant state agency to publish written guidance on how to equip three-dimensional printers with firearm blocking technology as defined, and would require performance standards to be publicly available on the department or relevant state agency's website. Oh boy. This bill would require, on or before July 1st, 2028, any business that produces or manufactures three-dimensional printers for sale or transfer in California to submit to the department an attestation? Sure, you're attesting. For each make and model of the printer they intend to make available for the sale or transfer in California, confirming, among other things, that the manufacturer has equipped that make and model with a certified firearm blueprint detection algorithm. If the department verifies the printer make and model is properly equipped, the bill would require the department to issue a notice of compliance as specified. The bill would require, on or before September 1st of 28, the department to publish a list of all makes and models of 3D printer manufacturers who have submitted complete self-testings, and would require the department to update the list no less frequently than on a quarterly basis, and to make that list available on the department's website. The bill, beginning on March 1st, 2029, would prohibit the sale or transfer of three-dimensional printers that are not equipped with firearm blocking technology and that are not listed on the department's list of manufacturers with a certified of compliance verification except as specified. The bill would authorize civil action to be brought against persons who sell, offer to sell, or transfer a printer without firearm blocking technologies. Oh my God. That is, insert meme, oh brother, this guy stinks. Yeah. I'm going to do something really quick. I'm going to text somebody. I'm going to see if I can get them to respond to me. So this live on the podcast. Figured you have opinions on it. So I just sent that. I sent the thing to one of the owners of What's the name? Owners of Vision Miner. Oh, here, while Jacob's gone, I can just get rid of... I was going to get rid of Jacob, but now he just
I'm
sat
back.
back down. I was going to get
I'm
rid of him
back.
on the screen.
Literally, Tommy, if you're watching this, you're fired immediately.
Tommy.
You do not run away when I call you about the website going down when your one job was make sure the website was ready for this. I've called you, you put the phone down. I went to the support network. Bear in mind, you've got multiple employees under you that can pick up the bloody phone. You put the phone down on me. You don't do that. I pay extra for this.
Keep calling.
It's just immediately going to voicemail. I think he's put it on a do not disturb list now. Very unprofessional behavior. God damn it, Tommy.
This is why we can't have nice things. Wait a minute. Can Glenn at 3D Prima stand up a link for people to purchase it through 3D Prima? Could we do this right now?
Cool. Yeah, could we do that live?
If that's acceptable, get permission from the other owners of your business. And I'm putting Glenn on the spot, but if it's possible, let's do it. Did we just get someone fired? Yes, you did. You literally just watched someone lose their job.
Yeah, so no, somebody's lost their job right now.
Yep.
I've paid extra intentionally to make sure that the back end of the server could have up to about 10,000 people load at any one point, and it's obviously not happening.
There's just under 200 people watching right
exactly.
now.
I pay quite a bit of money for service.
Likes. We gotta get those numbers up. And you know what? Flaky Layers is right. No, he got himself fired. You know what? Fair. You didn't fire Tommy. He got himself fired.
Yeah, this is very unprofessional behavior. I'm trying not to swear too much because it is a YouTube stream.
Appreciate it.
However,
James Mullen says breaking things is fun for the £5. Thank you, sir.
A website shouldn't crash with sub 200 people trying to load the back end. Hey, at least we're up there with Bontech. Launch a new product, website crash.
Hey.
But the problem is, and this is what made me really annoyed, the back end has crashed. Not just the front end, the APIs have crashed as well. I have no access to the back end. If I loaded this on my crappy little side computer, I've got a 50 gigabit per second like hard link for 40 quid a month, I'd have no issues. I pay that per month, so I don't have to deal with this.
So what you're saying is your website is on the spectrum and it's dropping packets.
Oh, my spectrum, it's dropped a lot of packets.
Sorry, dude. We will get it sorted.
It's a good problem to have, I will say. Great problem to have that people are actually trying to, like, you know, load the website and put orders in. Downside, shouldn't have happened. Do apologize. We'll be back to you shortly after technical issues are happening.
Omar Garcia asked if you've tried hitting it with your purse. Have you?
Didn't work.
Okay. Well, so did you hear me read the California bill?
No, because I was on the phone and nobody was picking it up.
Okay, because I was reading. I wasn't looking at you. TLDR, actual telemetry in printers, and printer manufacturers will be required to have machines with the telemetry installed to become a certified 3D printer manufacturer for the state of California, and that includes companies that want to sell 3D printers in California.
Interesting.
Yeah, have you tried turning it off and on again, Jacob?
The server is elsewhere in the city.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Well, I would if the bloody technician would pick the phone up.
Well, call him again. I'd blow his phone up.
I have got a text message back saying he's back in the office in 10 minutes.
Cool.
Still fired.
Still fired. Yep, that's fair. I don't blame you. So, all right, you're a 3D printer manufacturer, Jacob. I'm assuming at some point you'd want to sell 3D printers to California, right?
Yep. At the moment, I already can.
Well, without telemetry that certifies that your machine has a firearm blueprint detection algorithm, you cannot, as of March 1st, 2029. It would prohibit the sale or transfer of three-dimensional printers that are not equipped with firearm blocking technology and that are not listed on the department's list of manufacturers.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
So,
Just straight up, I would just close the entire sale route
now,
to that state.
here's the funny problem. For those of you that say California won't do this, California has literally done this with guns already. Right? They've already done this. So I'm not going to get it because the sticker is by the serial number on the box, but I have most of my firearms are not legal in California because of how they function, because of their magazine capacity, because of their make and model. They're not legal in California. So
Yeah.
there are CA compliant guns. There are non-CA compliant guns. Manufacturers have to make different SKUs for California. So for people to say, oh, that's never going to happen in California. Yeah, it could. In fact, California is the most likely to pass this in its current form. For those that are wondering about it, I'll post it here for you. There's your California bill. It's in the live chat, but we'll also put them in the description when we're done with this video, or we're done with the stream.
Yep.
And yes, if you haven't done it yet, please open another tab and open up twitch.tv/sameoldshane. Someone please put that in the chat for me, because Shane is streaming with Amber and we want them to get more viewers. And follow Shane. He does a bunch of like Lego content, but they're building Lego together and that's awesome. And I love it. So Nomad says Persia's not interested in backing the GPL license for or breaking the GPL license for our firmware. We'd have to make entirely new hardware and software. Not worth it. You say that, but gun manufacturers said it's worth it. Gun manufacturers said it is. And I would bet that it would make sense to add a CA compliant version of 3D printers. I hate this. I hate this a lot. Again,
no, I don't like
dude,
it. I don't like it.
This isn't even. It's not about guns. It's not about guns. It's not, because.
Glenn, 2285.
Huh? Oh. What? Oh, 2285 pounds. Pounds.
Yes.
Pounds. So convert it to whatever currency makes sense. Caleb? Yeah. Asks which state is banning negative manufacturing. Along that, it would be subtractive manufacturing. But California, Washington, I think New York is in there too. Colorado had it, but they've since removed it. So, yeah. This is where... See, for California, I'm not surprised. And if you're in California saying, but my rights... Brother, you screwed up. It's California. You should have known better. Now, I'd be very curious to hear from David Tobin. He's local in California. He is a massive 3D printing fan. You could say he's a 3D printing nerd, right? He's the producer for the 3D printing nerd, Joel Telling. He's the producer for Joel's channel. But we've got Vision Miner is in there too. We've got Matter Hackers is in California. Who else? I mean, obviously there's a bunch of people that use 3D printers, but I'm looking at like people that are willing to be vocal about it. I have a feeling David will go to the voting things because I think David has that ability and David has the voice in the community. And I hope that David goes. I want David Tobin to go. Because he's like, it's it's different for, like, if 3D Musketeers flew to California. It's different than if 3D Printing Nerd, which has a base in California via David Tobin, goes to the thing in California. It's more impactful, in my opinion, when a citizen of the area goes and says something rather than an outside force. Because at that point, it's basically lobbying, right? I know that David is likely pretty concerned about this. Because so far, and this law doesn't really talk about any of the retroactive, right? What happens to all the ones that are already there? Right? What happens to those? And like, those are the questions that I think are left unanswered at the moment. But I am hoping that Joel's in Washington, right? So I mean, dude, it's a perfect bits of content, right? Joel going up to his local city, state, whatever, and talking about it, somebody filming it, whether it's David or somebody else, and putting it up. It is perfect, right? From a content perspective, it's perfect, right? But it's even better because these people have bigger voices. Like, if it happened in Florida, I'd be driving up to Tallahassee. I'd be going to Tallahassee and I'd be speaking in front of open court or whatever the hell it is. And I would ask someone to film it and I would post that video because I want to show that I'm doing something. But being in Florida, me going to California doesn't... If it helps, I'll go. If it helps, I'll go. But I don't think it helps. Also, it's in the middle of Rapids, so I can't go. But if I could go, I would. If people would believe that it would help. Caleb says, I'm curious to which company is lobbying for this. I suspect Bamboo and the Spanish company with the G-code scanning stuff. I don't know, boss man, and I ain't getting into that level of guessing, so couldn't tell you. It was introduced, this AB 2047 was introduced by Bauer Kahan, Bauer dash Kahan. You're welcome to look up who their donors are. Right. Despite what you think of LM, he has influence in Washington to collect support. Sure. Then do something.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure LM is
something.
not going to be happy with this either, because it affects him quite badly.
Dude, he's literally built his channel on this for like the past couple of months.
Yeah.
If anybody ever says that we are clickbaity about anything, I'm just telling them to go look at his channel right now. Sorry, but it's pretty clickbaity, brother.
Yeah.
Not that he ever watches his channel. He's blocked me on every social media platform, so he doesn't even know we exist anymore.
I hope he hasn't blocked me.
Well,
we got no beef.
You're in conjunction.
I'm just the lovable young boy of the industry.
Sure. You go with that.
It's okay. Don't listen to my knees. The clicking is not an identifier of how young I am.
And you're going gray. You know,
it's just a badger stripe. It's a beauty mark.
I've got a little bit of gray, not a ton, but my concern is that we're going to end up with people that don't know anything about this going up and talking about it. And it's why, if you're local and you actually know what you're talking about, please go and say something. It's why I would love to see David go up. I would love to see Joel go up. I would love to see Loyal go up, right? You'd get me reposting all that content because that's the stuff that matters. In the beginning of the stream, we invited a discussion with any politician about this. Any politician, call us, email us, don't care, we will talk to you. We've tried reaching out to you, and none of you have returned our calls. None of you have returned our emails. So we're just going to flip the script. The ball's in your court. We want to help you understand what you're doing. I will approach it from as politically neutral as possible. But we have to look at it and understand it. And the fact that no one's replied to us tells me that it's way deeper than we think it is, you know? Pierce Prince sent 5 memberships. Thank you, sir. Greatly appreciated. I'm assuming Jacob's sending me messages telling me that I need to keep going on my own at this point.
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can.
Like at the moment, the technician has entered the building, is looking at the server. He says it's working fine. Lie. Um, but I am checking. We've got some of the front end pages going. I think it's a load balancing issue, but he hasn't told me anything. But the shop page is still not adding to the cart.
So the question, Medicine Mom Vlog is asking, what will happen to the open source and DIY printers? I don't know. Like, similar to firearm stuff, right? If you classify the lower as a firearm, these are just pieces of carbon fiber for an upcoming project. I'm building a shoulder rig for the camera. There's a file for it on printables, and I splurged for the carbon fiber rods rather than aluminum or steel. But if you can buy the individual components, if those aren't... So it's like right now, I can buy every component for a gun except for the lower, right? Because that is what is classified as a firearm by the ATF, right? So I have to go get a federal background check for that. I'll go get 4473, pay the $8 fee, yada, yada, right? What does that mean for the open source machines? The answer from my non-legal, non-educated perspective is if you can buy it online, it's the world's largest chopsticks, right? If you can buy it online and have it shipped to your house, it ain't regulated anymore, baby. And if they don't know about it, it's like the worst thing you can do while committing a felony is committing a misdemeanor. There are so many people that are like, you know, wanted, like they have a warrant for their arrest, and they'll go out, they'll break the speed limit, they'll let their registration on their car expire. The worst thing you can do while committing felonies is committing a misdemeanor, right? And so F917 says, what about kits? Kits are going to be a really, really weird gray area. They're going to have to define it, right? And what if you're like E3D and you sell the tool changer? But the tool changer is a motion platform. It's not a 3D printer. It's a motion platform. Well, do printer kits go to just be motion platforms? Or what? So you have to basically look at how these laws get implemented and then determine what can you do to get around them. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say it, but yeah. They're going to be... The title is known as the California Firearm Printing Prevention Act. I would say that if they ever do a firearm buyback program in California, stop bringing printed guns to it. Unless they don't take your name and wear sunglasses or some sort of facial recognition technology blocking stuff. Yeah, the positron is an upside down motion platform. These are the things that are going to have to be figured out. Right? Sure. Not breathing enough. I haven't read the entire California bill. It's long. It's excessive. It likely
I've heard the California bill is only slightly better than the Washington bill.
But it's California, man. And unfortunately, if you don't want... it, You're in California. Like, come on. It has been voted. 6 ayes, so 6 said yes, 0 said no, and no vote received for 3. The motion is do pass, but re-referred to the committee. The ayes were Mark Gonzalez, Harabedin, Nguyen, Ramos, Schultz, and Sharp Collins. No vote received were Alanis, Haney, and Lackey. So... I would say that if you are in California, it is within your best interest to go to your town hall meetings, go to your state meetings. If you have the ability to travel to these meetings, go to the meetings. You will only have 2 to 5 minutes on average to speak. So you need to have your points very well documented. Back them up with case law. Because I'm sorry, California, you don't have a lot of, plans. Where's the link for the Twitch streamers? Great question. Let me just pull it. Because I don't think anybody's put it up yet. So here is the link to the Twitch stream. Please open that in another tab. That way, Amber and Shane can enjoy. How many people are watching their stream? There's only 8 people watching them right now. What the heck?
Come on, guys.
Yeah, I want to.
So I guess half the people are currently enjoying watching me suffer live.
But you can put them on at like 1% volume. Go put them on at like 1% volume. But
I do that with Grant's videos. I speed them up 20 times.
Don't do that.
And then leave them in the background so the watch time goes down really fast.
Shut up,
don't do that. Do it the opposite. Slow it down.
Yeah. Now there's 13
I've got
people.
feedback.
Come on. Go over to...
I've got feedback.
You got feedback? Is it working?
From Tommy. He said, okay, so, Nightmare, resources are cooked.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, we're not done streaming yet, to be clear, but I want you all to also go and hang out on the Twitch stream for Same Old Shane. There's 200 of you watching.
Yep.
I need... Now there's 32 watching. Shane's probably just, like, shaking in his boots right now. There's 32 people watching me. Yes, let them know. Let them know. And then I will be going over there after this to hang out in their chat. So... So thank you all for going over there and helping support Shane and Amber and all them. If this goes well, we might do a triple stream at some point where I'm in there building some Lego as well. So just saying. So anyways, I need to go back to our notes and the bill. So California, my issue with California is it is likely to pass. They've done it for they've done it for guns already. So 3D printed guns is not an unreasonable ask either. My concern with California is how they're going to determine what a firearm blueprint is. That's the thing that I worry about, is what they determine. Same thing with New York, same thing with Washington. At least Colorado, I think, will have some level of thought process on it. But I mean, look, we might see the Supreme Court knock this down. I don't know. But I doubt they will.
I hope they do.
I doubt they will.
I really hope they do, because it's bad.
Yep.
It's really bad.
Yep.
I don't like them. It's not good. It kind of does nuke the manufacturing industry as well in that area. It nukes education quite a lot. It means you can't give your kids presents. Like, you can't just buy them a 3D printer for the little budding engineer and be like, there you go, girl.
What if a kid accidentally prints
Build
a
something.
prop firearm? Is like, knock, knock, knock,
Felony.
FBI, open up! You know, they kick in the door, shoot the puppy, and arrest the kid. Like, is that what they're gonna do? Like, is that what the
No, this is
ATF is
the
gonna do now?
ATF.
Yeah,
They
the
do it
FBI
all
does it.
wrong. Shoot the kid, arrest the puppy.
No, well, yeah, the FBI does that. The ATF shoots the puppy, and that's how we get John Wick Chapter 5. Um, Medicine Mom Vlog said, if you have a bamboo printer, can we lock it out completely with its own tiny VLAN? I would tell you that if you have any 3D printer, they should be off network. I've told you that for years. And, we had a guy apologize recently in the comments saying, I used to meme you, that you were crazy with 3D printers and their telemetry, but I'm now seeing all these laws and it's obvious you were correct. I'm sorry. Your 3D printers should not be online. If your printers aren't online, they don't know they exist. The same way that all of my guns were lost in boating accidents, and the vast majority of my firearms were bought with cash from private transfers, and they were all lost in boating accidents. If they don't know about it, they can't come to you. There's no evidence. Right? This is my concern. Right? Rob Lutter says, my Prusa won't snitch. My Prusas won't snitch. Right? They're all offline. My bamboo won't snitch unless you take it. Then it'll snitch. Because you can pull all the log files. Trying to think what other machines we have that won't snitch. The Cheaties will probably snitch. They probably would. Gotta stop boating to the gun show, Duff said. Yeah, it's a huge problem. I'm not 100% certain if the firearm part is a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Snitches get Z seams, Mitch 3D said. That's fair. Snitches get Z seams. But so Helix says that Stratasys lobbyists want this, and it keeps the community from encroaching on their future market share. Sure, but I would almost promise you that most people running Stratasys machines wouldn't want this level of telemetry either. Right?
No, they really wouldn't. It would just break. It will break half the industry.
Nathan C. Potts says Voron won't snitch. But Clipper does. Clipper snitches. Clipper keeps a log. And if your machines are running Clipper, you need to get a way to remove the log from Clipper. So, I almost forgot my dinner in the oven. Damn you, Grant, for putting me to work. I'm sorry for helping you make money, Glenn. But no, I am actually sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't expect this.
Yeah. I have said it once. I'll say it again. I don't care who the hell makes your 3D printer. Air gap your 3D printer. It is not on a network. It is not on a VLAN. It is not connected to the internet. If you can remove the Wi-Fi chip, remove the effing Wi-Fi chip. Air gap your printers. Many of you made fun of me a couple of years ago when I was talking about this on Bamboo, and now I'm showing you that we were right. We were right all along. We've always been right about this. There is no reason for your 3D printer, which has really bad network security, by the way, to be on a network. I get it. It's convenient. I don't care. Take it off the network, use USB, and move on. Move on. Huh. And yes, Clipper doesn't actively send logs, but Clipper keeps a log of your files and what you print.
And it's good. It's actually a usable part, and a lot of people use Clipper's logging system for data analytics internally.
Sure, but let's say you get raided. Let's say they get a warrant, or they get a search warrant for your house and your 3D printers, and your Clipper has been logging every single print you did, and maybe there are some prints on there that weren't the most, legal.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, it looks like the back end is online. For now. Construct 3D/store, all clean. Make sure you use the code Making Awesome to get that 15% discount before the site nukes itself again.
Caleb Baird of 9681 says, I just use a separate VLAN with no internet connection for my printers. Are you sure that VLAN is actually separate? Are you certain that VLAN has no ability to talk? Are you certain that you can trust your router? Which, you know, already I'm sure we're looking at adding government telemetry to USA-made routers. Are you certain? Because you know what I'm certain about? If my machines aren't connected to any network at all, they can't talk outside of their network. They can't do it because they literally aren't connected to anything. If you are smart enough to segregate a VLAN, if you are using the right equipment, do it. Fine. But I am making my professional opinion. My professional opinion is to air gap your 3D printers. If you believe you are smarter and you want to go on a fully segmented VLAN, do it. Don't care. But I don't want to have to say I told you so. I don't want to have to, like, it's the one thing I hate doing on this channel is saying I told you so. Because it normally means somebody got hurt. So. Helix said, bring up FlashForge. FlashForge said they will comply. FlashForge did back that down, but also...
They probably realized how much work that's going to take.
But also, at the same time, they won't have a choice. Right? They won't have a choice. Timed out, adding to cart. Site's still not working.
We're sitting at a lovely 95% utilization on the back end.
Wow. Rip.
That's all I've been told. Apparently, the service host has virtualized some of the resources. So even if you turn everything to 11, we don't get more. Good one there.
Randy Parker says, good Google Pay still took a long time, and then says invalid shipping address.
Yeah, I think the back end's just cooked.
Cool.
Absolutely just cooked.
Cool.
I mean, thank you, though. I am actually really happy with the fact that I've already tested this with at least 50 orders going through at one point, and the fact that we got more than that means it's more than 50 instantaneously. And I guess I'm going to have to set up a new hosting system because it's not working.
I don't know where I sit with all this, dude. I really don't. I am a little bit worried with these laws. I kind of expect California's to pass pretty close to where it sits right now. But I'm very could the Supreme Court knock it down, right? Maybe, but then there's states' rights that come into it. And Rob Lutter's right. There's this kind of stuff is already in copiers. Do you know this, Jacob?
Yeah, it's common knowledge that you can't print money because it's got identifiers and it scans the thing. It's not really a problem in the UK. We're still allowed to scan and print our money. It's more of an American protection thing.
Well, yeah, because your money's made of plastic. Ours still made of paper.
Also, we actually have, materials that are good and UV marks and watermarks and then see-through bits that mean you cannot just print it.
I mean, yeah, we've seen it with 2D printers. But I feel, all right, someone will have to correct me on this. But because I don't know when that law was enacted. Was that law enacted after the general public sale of 2D printers started? Because if we saw 2D printers being very cheap, coming out of China, that didn't have this telemetry, then all of a sudden they added
Spectrum's dropping some packets.
No,
Double check,
that's
because you
not
dropped
me.
like 50.
That's not me.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That's rare for me.
According to the thing, we are good so far. Like, I am curious regarding. I'm very curious regarding the telemetry for 2D printers when they decided to do it. Right?
I don't think it would have mattered, because the people didn't buy a 2D printer to print everything. They did it for Word documents. But the problem with 3D is it's a lot more ambiguous. Like, you can scan a picture and just image copy, oh, it looks like this. But for gun parts, it's almost impossible to identify them sometimes.
I understand that. My question is, when was the law for this, photocopy blocking technology for 2D printers put in? Where were we in the 2D printer world? Were we as far along as we are in the 3D printer world? Has the technology, because I don't think we were. I think this came out like before the real big push of having a 2D printer in everybody's homes. Right? Let me see here.
Oh my god, Glenn, I love you so much. Glenn has pulled through and made a gorgeous page for All Clean. Thank you so much. Posting that in the chat. At least you guys can get it from somewhere.
I don't know if the code will still work, but
Neither do I.
you guys are going to have to figure out the technicalities of that and how you're going to do profit sharing and all that later. But okay.
That's fine. At the moment, you got access to it. I intentionally told Glenn the prices with VAT, because on our website it's without VAT. So you guys are automatically getting your 20% discount, because I told Glenn to do it with VAT
make sure that
included.
Glenn removes that at some point, because yeah.
Oh no, it just means the price he's got will be cheaper than the price on our website correctly. It does the same math, it's just inverted. Thank you so much, Glenn.
So we have to look at when 2D printers became cheap. So 2D digital printers became truly cheap, widespread, and accessible for the home office in the 1990s and early 2000s. The telemetry started around 1996. So I don't know if... How different is this? Like how different is this actually to the money thing? Because like photocopying money, all right, it totally makes sense to keep people from photocopying money. That's like that makes sense. But do we also say that it makes sense to keep people from 3D printing guns? Does that make sense?
I think all of my problem isn't the fact it's about the guns. It's the... It does make sense. Stop people making things that are illegal. I cannot deny that. But I think that's a bit of a straw man argument. Because the problem is, what is a gun? It's what the ATF literally cannot understand. What is a gun? Mm-hmm. Is it a credit card with a shape printed on it? Is it a bolt? Because it could be used in a gun. Is it the entire lower? Is it the upper? Is it the firing pin? Is it the whole thing all at once? We don't know. What if it's a prop? What if it's for engineering? What if it's just like a mass driver or an impact driver and it just kind of looks gun-like? All of a sudden, you're shutting down workflows without having a qualified way to actually tell. Whereas money, it's a reference. You can reference a piece of money.
Yeah.
You can be, this piece of money is exactly like this scan or this photo that they're printing. No. But with 3D, it's a lot harder. It's like a sear pin, for example, or even like a push pin, where it's just got a little divot. I use push pins all the time. I have some in my G36s. I also have some in farmyard equipment. At which point does a sear pin become a gun part versus just an engineering part? And that's the problem, is if I move the sear divot 0.1 mil over, is that the same part? Is that now allowed? It shouldn't be, because I know I'm going to use it for a gun. But do you know it's a gun? Because it's different now. It's a novel use of the 3D printer.
What if it's rimfire versus centerfire, right?
Yeah.
And for those that are wondering, rimfire versus centerfire, it's a 12 gauge shotgun shell, but shotguns have, you know, a big enough. Oh my God, I have to cover my face or it's going to try to focus on my face. You can see on the back there, the center is where the primer is. On a rimfire, it's you hit the rim. On a centerfire, you hit the center, right? So this is just a 12 gauge Fiocchi buckshot, 70 millimeter, fun stuff. But this is where there's not enough definition, and it's going to take case law for us to figure it out, right? That's the problem. Oh, apparently it's like 85 US. Oh, order just went through on your site, Jacob.
And trying to serve the US supply, it's $86 on my site with shipping.
I don't know if
that's
was on
wrong.
Your site or if that was on 3D Prima.
Well, hopefully the back end will load for me, but things are apparently going through. It should be about $18 for shipping.
Okay,
I believe.
That was 3D Prima. Let me see.
Jacob, I'm fired. No,
Jacob, you're fired. Here, let me try to add it to my cart. There's a moth in here. Damn it, moth. Dude. No, your site's broken for me.
I'm so happy and so embarrassed of the hug of death.
Yep. Well, you had almost 200 people watching, so.
Let me just quickly check. Hey, Grant, what's your zip code?
33545.
33545?
33545.
545. Update. If it works.
Do you want me to send you my address?
No, so for the shipping calculator, it only uses your zip code and your state.
Okay.
And then it can get a rough price for your area.
Omar Garcia asked for my mother's maiden name. Guys, my address is public. Like, we had people like, oh, they're gonna dox me. Like, guys, my address is public. Don't be stupid. And Tanner Dude Man says he only has certs in bird law. Tree law is the hard one.
Yeah.
Jason for $5 says thanks for the stream. The problem with this is that it is the territory where enforcing prohibited encroaches upon what is allowed. 10 out of 10, dude. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And Omar Garcia says, do I have a firing range? Yes, I do. Welcome to Florida. Epperson Lagoon looks fun. Mitch just looked up my address. I am in between the two lagoons. Yes. Yeah. Is what it is. CMDRKAXX. Bever for 1 month basic sport. Thank you. They say hello. Hello.
Hello. This has been a wild ride.
Yeah.
I want off Mr. Bones' wild ride. I don't like it anymore. It's clattering, and it's all falling apart.
Yeah. And I'm not certain where to go. Like, where the hell do we go? Right? Like, what do we do? What the heck do we do? Other than going to vote, you know, working with people, talking with politicians, what else can we do and where else can we go?
Nothing. It's out of
Omar
our
says
hands.
you wait for case law. And yeah.
We're on the roller coaster. We are tied in. The drop is in front of us. You're being told it might be worse. You're being told it might be better and you'll be fine, but you don't know until you go down the drop.
You're right.
And I don't like that. but we have nothing else. There is no effective way to get out of this. You're locked in. The only way you can is you cut yourself free and you leave.
I mean, that's fair.
But that doesn't mean it's good.
There are dangers in doing that too. There are dangers in that too. So I guess for the all clean, maybe avoid 3D Prima because of their expensive USA shipping prices. If you're in the States, try to keep buying from Construct. I don't know, guys. If you want it that bad, you can pay the shipping expenses, but that's not on 3D Prima. Prima? Is it Prima or Prima? I go
Prima.
with Prima.
3D Prima.
That's not on them. That's not their fault.
It's okay. We've started getting orders through. I've got into the back end. It's on maintenance mode, which is definitely not a scary thing you want to be seeing on a live website.
Yep.
Which actually is making me question, is it live? If it's in maintenance mode? Hopefully. But yeah, we've started getting orders through.
Cool.
As of 4 minutes ago. So thank you very much, everyone.
Lorianne Brown brings up a point that I made previously as well, saying the problem is criminals will figure out a way to work around whatever laws passed, so it only impacts those that are not criminal. Yep. They will continue to file serial numbers off of guns. They will continue to just 3D print guns on printers that are kept offline. But then those of us that run air-gapped environments, will we be considered criminals? Right? Will we now be criminals? Do we just drink unflavored milk? Are we criminals? At what point do you become a criminal? And I don't want to find myself running a business that all of a sudden gets criminalized overnight. It's a pain in the ass. To say the least. What do you think, dude?
I think we're probably going to have to do a couple more episodes on this as it gets out there.
I hate that, but yes.
I think that's all we can do.
Oh, I got oops, something went wrong when trying to order it via Google
So
Pay.
I think what's ended up happening is the technician has put the website into maintenance mode now, which means I do have access to the back end. It will mean probably payments are frozen or the APIs are frozen. I don't know. I wouldn't have put it in maintenance mode personally. I would have just let it through. But he did just send me a text saying the CPU is now stabilized. Cool beans, dude. I love you, Glenn. You have saved me.
Hashtag blame Tom.
And thank you, everyone, for killing my website. I'm really happy with that. It's like a badge of approval. Well done. Here is your award. Website hugged to death.
So, Tanner Dudeman says, yep, need more people to cover it who aren't clickbaiting. It's so hard. It only comes off as fear-mongering. And, that's what we try to do with these, and it's why we do them live. Because if we recorded this, I should have editor Adam edit this down into the most fear-mongering video possible just to show how editing can immediately, dude, if we just had ominous music playing, that alone would make this feel very fear-mongery. And this is the problem that we run into because, okay, we can totally do fearmonger videos, right? It's easy. Anybody can do it, and it will get views. And as a creator, you are kind of you're stuck to the algorithm, guys. But we have committed to not doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, we'll have sensationalized titles, but we're not going to sit there and be fearmongers. It's not what we do. What we will tell you to
Maintenance mode being turned off in 60 seconds.
Okay. What we will do is tell you to go out and vote. Make sure you're registered. Doesn't matter who you vote for or what party you vote for. Just make sure you vote. Get your voice heard. Do it in a meaningful and real way. Because if you don't, you have nobody to blame but yourself.
Yep. And don't do anything stupid out there.
No, don't do stupid.
You guys still have to live in the area that you live.
Yep.
Don't make a scene. Do it constructively. Do it organized, and calmly.
Yep.
Because you know what makes people not want to listen to you? Yelling and being angry and very emotional.
Yeah, Alex Jones. Alex Jones makes you not want to be listened to. So don't be like Alex Jones. Please. Be smart about it. You catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Be smart about it. If you have an opportunity to talk to a politician, even if they are for this bill, do not attack them. Take the time to say, look, I'd love 10 minutes of your time. Sit down one-on-one. We don't agree on this, but maybe we can educate each other. That education is the most important thing that we can do as a community, period. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's it, dude. I think
it.
we've covered it. I'm sure there'll be another one. I hate that. You know. Oh, yeah, sure. I hate that we're gonna have to do another one of these. We're gonna have to.
There's no way we can't. It's we're still on the ride. The ride isn't over. We've got a couple more loops to go and a couple of things to hit.
Yep.
But hopefully the big drops aren't as big as we think.
We'll get there. We are going to do the giveaway, so make sure you stay till after the outro, then we'll get into
and
some
for anyone
more of
who's still here, website is online. We have double the capacity. So if you guys want to attempt to use the website that is crawling on its last legs trying to stay afloat, you can feel free to use the code MAKINGAWESOME for 15% off site-wide, and you can pick up a bottle of All Clean or a full 3D printer if you're feeling very spicy.
So
no one's stopping you.
I just threw the link to the printables page for this camera rig. It's $18 to the files. Very affordable. It's like $30 in hardware. I bought the carbon fiber for it. I'm very excited.
Oh, that looks lovely.
Yep. I have PCC.
Oh, I want to build one.
Yep. I know. I met the designer. He's a really cool guy. PCCF is already on the way. It does require a tool changer, in theory. So just for reference, but you could do it another way, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm excited for this, but my car problem.
How bad is it?
I stripped a bolt in the block. Well,
no, it's fine.
I stripped the threads out of the block.
Oh, out of the block. Okay, you should be fine. What you need to do
helicoil
is helicoil. Thread it bigger, helicoil in. Pray it works.
Well, so it was only for the water pump. Well, it's for an engine mount that goes on top of the water pump and it secures the water pump. I wasn't even torquing it down. We don't know why this occurred. It wasn't even being torqued. And I was using a digital torque wrench when I was doing it too. So like, I know I wasn't on torque, but yeah. So the shop teacher said what he wants me to do is get a helicoil kit. We are not going to drill it out. The block is aluminum. So we're just going to re-thread it. We're going to thread it for the helicoil, but we're not going to drill it out. He said, if we drill it out, now we have to take your water pump off again. And that water pump is what holds tension for the timing. And I spent many days working on the timing belt. So, yeah. Mitch says, do I have a flux core welder? Yes, I do, but I'm not doing that. Oh yeah, Liz is behind. She said, I worked in a lobby. I've worked for lobbies for years. The big thing is give them information on education and also show them where it will hurt their pockets. Oh, it's a good one. Good job. Sam Boozer said, stop spraying mercury into your aluminum block. Yeah, nothing I can do. Is this the Honda? Yes, it is my old Honda. It is one of my lower engine mount. Well, it's my upper engine mount on the passenger side, but it is the lower of the 3 bolts. Yeah. Hardforge Solution said, print a timing retention tool. They don't exist for my car. Fun times. But yeah. I was hoping to have the car home this week because this upcoming week is spring break for the high school. So my car's literally going to sit there for a week and I can't touch it. But nope.
Yep.
James Mullen said, how am I going to get the helicoil in if you don't take the pump off? We believe the helicoil should be a smaller size than the hole for the water pump. If not, we're tapping both, baby, and we're just going to send the helicoil all the way down. So, yeah. Hartford Susan says, I bet I could make one. I'd try anyways. I didn't think about it, and I was told the timing belt shouldn't be that bad, but it was very difficult to get it perfectly in time. It took quite a few tries. I bet I could do it better now, but it took a while. So, yeah. And if you haven't seen, it might be gone from my Instagram story by now, but I bought a welding table and a generator from a garage sale yesterday for $25 US. An 8,500 watt generator that hasn't ran in 2 years, and it's had gas sitting in it for 2 years, so the gas is bad. And a welding table that is 1/2 inch thick of solid steel, Jacob.
That's nice.
6 feet wide, 2 feet deep. $25 for both. And I lifted them out of my truck with Amber using a 6-ton chain hoist that I happened to have for doing 3D printer part testing. It's just kind of ridiculous. Yeah. T-Boom said, I think I may have seen the Facebook post on those. It was in a community garage sale. So, and yes, it was a solid score even for the scrap. Yep. Yeah, that table weighed over 400 pounds. We got the generator running on brake clean. So it ran on brake clean, which tells me the generator will run. But now I got to drain all the old gas out of it. We're going to give it an oil change. We're going to do all the stuff. So I'm keeping that table. That table's awesome. But yeah, it was really jank getting the table out of the truck. But yeah, I would have been stupid not to get that deal. So, when mentioning burning brake cleaner, make sure to emphasize non-chlorinated. I think it was non-chlorinated. I don't know. It was outside. Clean the carb in the jet. I might, but honestly, for the cost of new carbs, I might just put a new carb on it and move on. But when I opened the gas tank, it was rusty. So we're going to probably have to take the gas tank out, put rust reformer in it, spray a bunch of WD-40 in it, and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, that's it for me. I'm gonna work on building this this camera rig. So if you see us at Rapid, and if you see us at Rocky Mountain, I will have this camera rig on me. So it'll be fun.
Tell me how it goes, because I will make one if you like it.
I'm gonna work with the designer because he uses like M4 and M6 heat sets.
Oh, like a proper designer.
Well, no, to use accessories, but all my accessories mount with quarter 20, not M4 or M6. So I'm gonna
Become
see
European.
Huh?
Become European.
Well, no, I mean that quarter 20. That's a standard tripod mount, right? So like my magic arms are quarter 20. The mounts on the screens are all quarter 20. So I'm going to see if I can adjust some to be quarter 20. But anyways, that's it, guys. If you want to come hang out, I'll be in our Discord here in a bit. I believe Jacob's got some website work to do. But at the $10
yes,
tier
I have
higher,
quite a few phone calls.
Yep, at the $10 tier and higher, once we are done live, we go and hang out in the Discord. But stay after the outro because we're going to give away some filament. That is all we have for you all today. This has been the gun laws passing, even though we didn't think they would. Stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. And as always, keep your beds clean with all clean awesome. And keep making awesome.
Oh, I didn't expect that. That was so smooth.
I know you did it. And that's why I did it, bitch.
Ah, so smooth. So smooth.
All right, let me stop my recordings
I'm going to start mine
and
as well.
let's
I'm
give
also
away some
going to
photos.
respond to Omar. Basically, dish soap, the surfactant binds to PEI, and over time it builds up and it inhibits PEI from working at all. All Clean doesn't do that. So you get oil removal, grease removal, sugar removal, carbon removal, and a couple other nice little bits. But it doesn't bind to PEI. And then the part 2 removes whatever surfactant is left to reset it back to factory grade. Otherwise, soap and water can work for a while, especially if you're more clinical with your wiping it off. But the longer and the heavier the surfactant load that is given to it with soaps, you can ruin a PEI sheet in under 10 cleans if you're using certain soaps and water.
Yeah, don't be stupid. Let's
Anything that also says moisturizer soap,
see.
stay away.
The
It will work on the BQ plates you have.
cool. The Mocker is the Mocker in the chat. THE hyphen MAUKER. They are the first winner. Let's do another spin. We're giving away 3. Huge thank you to 3D Prima for providing the filament for this giveaway. Let me see number 2. Holy crap, it's another one in the EU and UK. Glenn's getting lucky on this one. James Mullen. I know he's in there. I saw him earlier. I know James Mullen's still in there. And let's go for the third one. We got a lot of EU people hanging out with us today, apparently. The third one is also seriously. All right. Oh, it's him. It's him. It's Matt's makerspace. It's him. Matt and I have a challenge. See who can get index first.
Will All Clean help with already bound surfactants? Yes, but it does depend on the surfactants that we used on it. We have found it does almost reset, depending on like the amount of surfactant that's on the surface. But it does do a good job. The other way you can remove the majority of surfactants, it does slowly damage PI, so you can only do it once or twice. But boiling water, like freshly boiled 100 degree, well 99.9 degree water, and use like 20 liters of it. Flood that surface continuously with boiling water, and it should remove the most of the surfactants.
I couldn't help you there. Anyways, that's it, dude.
This is good.
Yeah. We'll see you guys over in the Discord. We would normally go hang out with Shane or with Steve, but instead we want you to go over to twitch.tv/sameoldshane. Here, I will put the link. This is where I want you all to go. I want you all to go here. This is where I want you all to go right now. Right here. That's where I want you all to go. I want you to go hang out with Amber and Shane. They're building Lego. But that is it, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care. See you later.